Yagudemunsem at the Bramo Copim said, Dumienu, Ababonan, so full house, and Batu Bibia, Anka, Awa, Jumadi, so garbage on the Bedikai, a day I call Amanene, Obia, na Abida Fonso Abetrase, Fifi Manfred Beba, Sanso, and Bismarck, Owusubempa Ayala, and so ha, and Joshua Holutu, Omdana Baba Kamunafi, somehow do a ne, Midweek, Wednesday, Yabobo Nini to me at the Amamo. And anope ya chiamo wie no ne adamase for chosen insurance passports and now no pay na ya tenase dumienu and na ya besori mesamo as awutie on live radio pamchao so ukuta phone sisi ya betimi afa phone no na opesa o hwedwumade o hwe na na wo san etie ne live me pacho YouTube Nhyira TV okwa na o subscribe channel no subscribe wi na fe odo message no eja ho garbage from the ever common na ya ba messages are mode abani na no yakenkan enso etimi edi amamo enra Barcelona Roma I think Barca plays so well almost 3-0 but then Barca plays so well almost 3-0 but then said the kind na no na Barca Atletico Madrid there and said no problem but as say no betimi ateka 9 no and the so any qualification no that was the problem nti adna Barca share 3 Atletico Madrid omo entimi anti into on aggregate no Atletico Madrid at a 4-3 and advance here omo come in the Copa del Rey in a game or ha and so omo ebetimi abo and no onsam no and no EPL say me so na wo sufo no sa won di bi na sisi omo konya som di che teams no akofom kofa no he. And it seems as I'm picky at the right time. Time I ever real season I'm na yi na afena wo msifo no picky. Na no mo che Liverpool Chelsea na 7:30. Brighton and Hove Albion ababo Arsenal. Na Man City so abo Nottingham Forest. Newcastle United and then my own Manchester United and the bepem so a. Ni na no ya ba. Minimsa ya lamba be room near din komo etimi edi amamo. And in somehow do p and na ebe free amonene aba ene anope ye befia anna sports minister even sports and recreation minister yewura Kofi Adams na ane ye nuanom Adom FM interview na ha na opani ne din sempi ade atoja ade first of all no enhyeda nya ne nwanwa se the day you ebetimi akobo World Cup ni bi na ase World Cup na ye kɔ ne ye pese ekosua de eti omo dwene so omo de police fo ene bloggers ni nipa bebrebe free Ghana ha enso etimi akɔ World Cup no enso bisa sika ni na no ebeda no hwan ne de sankofo na tukwan enso minister echechere mi yakoba na edimu nsam edi abramo Black Queens enso awo Dubai omo boabo omo ho na eman Afcon no omo so etimi akɔ na eye 4 nation tournament na yebo awo Dubai atuni din Pink Ladies Air Cup enra ye no man Russia and the boy game no no na Black Queens ashe 9 ama Russia for no omo entimi anti kanaba kokra we ni afufo pika ho yakoba na abedi sanko ni na enso etimi edi afa Nhyira 4.5 yako na garbage the foreigner etifo di kan edi amanene nsem no Abraham Richard ni pamchao yakwa amane ni aba good.
I want to ask both you and Joshua. Sebastian Nhyira say they have the ability. Say a number of Matanda. Are they just saying it with a fiction of one imagination, and now they know what they are saying?
Josh, you first.
It seems to me, sir, it's just an imagination. The expectation from the first leg was that definitely they would have gotten at least a goal or two. Because you cannot play against Atletico Madrid. Wash out 4-0. I went to me. That is where the conversation is very nuanced. Komunya gola. The confidence would have been more, even with them talking about a remontada. But they are saying this more because they believe that coming back to the Spotify Camp Nou, their chances are relatively increased. But the question is, say, now Atletico Madrid, more than 4 to qualify. I don't think that is possible because it means Atletico doesn't have to score, but definitely if Atletico enter me and Shekrana, they will not allow Barca to score more than 4 goals.
What if it becomes a 6-1 like they did to Paris Saint-Germain? Okay, it's a 6-1 Paris Saint-Germain.
But that time Barcelona is
it's not the same team.
Wait,
this is a different Barcelona altogether.
Then I want us to go through this because I think say maybe it won't happen. But Barca they can do it. I think they have good reason to believe.
Oh, na say no there. Enti ka open ka Barcelona for Mbeka say. Give me
at least
what I'm trying to say is that the fans will talk, but I think they have a good reason. Good reason as in there is some facts that leads to that. Which I think the first thing is the Nhyira flick factor. The kind of football that he plays. See, match we. Say who you coach now, come now you coach are conservative. Kakebia, you will lose it. In fact, Atletico Madrid best have Spotify company about the show more if you are a conservative coach. And I think the reason why even you who say that Remontada can be a little too much to ask from Barcelona, but you still believe that Barcelona has shown is that Hansi Flick is a high octane manager. And Boni Ebono say who the Atletico tour. Now the Barcelona tour, I can understand the last time was 4-0. Barca and Shegu. But if you look at the Spanish La Liga this season, the number of goals, even from last season, and the Nhyira flick, which of these two teams can get you 5 goals, you will call the Barcelona team on any night. So for me, Sebastian Ibiakasa, maybe they are speaking from the Nhyira flick factor first as a manager. He plays high octane football. He will not hold back. It's at a Spotify company. He has the players to do that. That is number one. Which the number 2 of the things that I think may be a big decider on the night is the fact that Barca also have the players on the field of play who can go and play and get those results for you. When was that? This weekend. Barcelona boy, Lamine Yamal was literally unstoppable. And after that, he has gone on his Instagram to go and say that they are going to try and turn it around with a Spotify company behind them. Yes, Robert Lewandowski, but Rafinha is in the team again. If you want an attack that can give you goals, in fact, this season, I think about 25 of the games at Barcelona, there is a goal margin of 3+. In the Barca game, you will be a 3+ goal margin comes to bear of Obeshe. They will score goals. They have an attack that can score goals. In fact, when you look at Football Club Barcelona, if you look through all of Europe, teams that share the most goals are when you take Bayern out, you count the likes of Football Club Barcelona. So there is the ability also on the field of play with attack. No? Yes, the big dilemma. Ombo Ferran Torres and I say Ombo apparently friend Danny Olmo. Danny most likely because Danny Betinya drop your ball midfielder, Bema force number 9. Ferran, the whole of February on share go. So it's a little bit of a big ask for Ferran Torres if you want to say if he can go into it and go and get a job done. Which the third reason is that Atletico Madrid on my foundations near shaky. This season, I've seen Atletico Madrid lose 3-0. I think about 2 weeks or so ago. 3-0 was Spanish La Liga name. I've seen Atletico Madrid go away to Club Brugge and concede 3 goals. I've seen Atletico Madrid stay at the Wanda Metropolitano, play against Bodo Glimt, and also concede 2-3. So it is very clear. Say team was Spanish La Liga name. Or conceding goals. The foundations are weak, and they can ask questions of them. Rich, Diego Simeone knew before. Is it the same Diego Simeone? The teams concede. So there is every reason. Rich, 4th reason is answer your more. There has been precedents before. In the competition you are playing in. Everybody that talks about the Spanish La Liga will tell you that when it comes to the Copa del Rey, Barca want to pay, they want to win it. And one of our customers, is Atletico Madrid. Last season, you started game in semi-final, Atletico shared 2 goals up. Then in 55 minutes, and then 90 minutes, Barca turned it around. So, the precedent is there. It's Atletico Madrid. Barca have the players. And also, when you look at the Atletico Madrid team, they are just not consistent for me. So while they turned up 4-0, last weekend game, boy, they struggled against Oviedo at the depth and San Julian Alvarez HSR 1-0 goal. They struggle. certain games where you expect Atletico to go and get a job done. No about draw, no lose, and they find it hard. I agree. Because like Joshua says, Barca they are most likely they concede. And then in no be or analyst be a doing konaka say we pe cool the coach Barca match now. One should be more either both teams to score. Because Barca most likely Atletico to be. So it means that Barca should be willing to score 6 at the very least, or 5 on unanswered. To make sure say our dream of getting a remontada comes to bear. Robert Lewandowski on him. The starting lineup again, I want to bring both of you in. Kubasi, only one MP, Araujo announced Gerard Martin.
That's Araujo.
I'm also introducing Kakaka. So and he has been training fine. Araujo or Gerard Martin?
Uncle for Gerard Martin.
Me uncle for Gerard Martin.
Yeah.
Also Gerard Martin. Yeah. Why?
Araujo no.
That's what one can say. I was introducing Kakaka.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a big game.
In high
this is a game where you need.
So don't you need the personality of Araujo?
Personality, Araujo.
Height, aerial dominance, physicality.
One of the players are Barca fans and Ukraine.
Yeah.
No, but of course he has had his tough times. But Rich, in Barca's best days, also when we were winning the league, he was Araujo. I mean, hard times happen to everybody. Maybe sa me chimo adwenya ko Araujo de say so the Araujo jana the Gerard Martin jana also watching no. The Araujo jana Gerard Martin
personality wise or take boxing.
Exactly.
But born kasa so you defend no me dem them.
Rich na Gerard Martin no or ya the searching Araujo no.
Maybe
see idea.
As a start now
head of Araujo.
So you go for Gerard Martin to partner with Kubasi. At left back the last time
Kubasi look as there is one over Bende.
At left back Cancelo ball the last time 90 minutes solid. Are you starting Cancelo or Alejandro Balde? Game where he might open goals.
Yeah.
Cancelo is more attacking. Balde can give you the attacking too. So who are you starting? Cancelo and Alejandro Balde.
I mean, we can go for Cancelo.
You go for Cancelo to start. Joe. Cancelo also.
Yeah.
It means that a book comes to get in there. Barca Benumu.
At least no, you are going into a game where you want to trust Obia. The potential of scoring a goal. So when you want to go into a game like this and you look at Cancelo on the game or boy previously now, you'd want to trust him more. Sana Mihuno.
Oh no, Sergio Forward are very dangerous.
Yeah.
Very, very dangerous. And it crosses into the box and on one Casanso in Goshe. Balde, honestly, very good, but on one share them for goals in the Shannon Cameras. But for Cancelo, bit me
midfield of Frankie de Jong, you a bear on a Pedriana.
Oh, Pedri there, of course.
Then Mark Bernal plays next because Bernal's a bino. Near Koye. Then you may move and I will know for Danny Olmo. It means that you go for Olmo over Ferran Torres.
Sure.
Same for you, Josh.
No.
Go for Ferran Torres, rather.
Go for Ferran Torres
to start ahead of Danny Olmo. He has not been scoring.
Not, and that shouldn't be the problem.
Okay.
You need to have at least play a deal of free bench bar. And
that should be Olmo.
Yeah.
But in a game like this, you need to start well, kill it off quicker.
No, but fine. But a bit possible, say, you will not get what you want in the first half. You may be looking for ideas in the second half.
Yeah.
It's when you introduce such a player, when you have lost ideas, I be a first half, second half, here will be a bit unlocking them quick. What in the means inside, Sarah? You are able to get something
at least
fresh of him.
France will be a goose.
Okay.
France was with me.
Rich, quickly on Atletico Madrid side first. Oh yeah, Diego Simeone, are you opening up? Are you being conservative? Oh, mid block. Oh, can I say how are you approaching the game?
Me, kind of saying, Simeone.
Yeah, Diego.
My catch my boys and say, look, game now you come in the 4-0 echo.
Yeah.
And Barcelona near neighbor. Barcelona at any point between a shame. Okay, would start out their mind this morning. BBR just say games between Atletico Madrid and Barcelona. How many are the Ripping Boys?
Yeah.
And we will say, catch your boys and say, look, this game, you're the 4 echo.
Okay.
You make sure say you're sure no water tight. At least we didn't first half. Second half in your bar, they will come
in doing watertight. Are you playing the same way? Because me two arguments are same. First leg, this was the exact front four from Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
Lookman, Guillermo Sinieni, Griezmann, any Branty Alfredo, Julian Alvarez. Now, most of the times, say na Alejandro Balde kono kema, what I call the asymmetric backline, and Bekamba say Chiromi and Sana space but Alejandro Balde wa. What they do is that usually it is Guillermo. Now Guillermo or Griezmann or Julian will pick up the first ball. Almost every time, the diagonal pass Ebeko crossfield will be waiting for Lookman. So how are you approaching it? Do you want to kill it? Because let's go first go. What do Barca do?
Tell the passes never call Barca wins. Man, you are good to go. Because Barca won the 9 wins.
Which then it
Rafinha.
Yeah. Then it also means that if Atletico don't lose this game. Because once Barca are going to change the game, they can be opening.
Who is a Barca best but won't even qualify.
They will not be able to qualify.
Yes, Barca will beat them, but won't even qualify. Because this Barcelona defense, you know, Atletico do score.
I feel Atletico may not lose at the Spotify.
Yeah, almost lose the game, no. Oh, they be. Lose, but I Barca and even qualify.
I feel they may not lose at the spot because the fixation, you know, can be a little bit worried for me. But yeah, sure do you give me
Diego Simeone.
Yeah,
I'll pack my midfield enemy defense.
Yeah,
make sure I curtail. South pass never call Barcelona wins or no. So maybe I am a Barcelona any too dangerous.
There is a big game in the Coppa d'Italia.
Como
Inter Milan.
Inter Milan, yeah.
Sex Fabregas and Christian Kivu away when they are going to play in Como. Very, very interesting game. Rich, Sex Fabregas and he deserves a lot of commendation. And I like the fact that he's calling on the fans to come and help them. Omni Inter match, and it's not going to be easy. I just feel like because it's going to be played over 2 legs now, it's one that I see say Inter will edge it slightly. In Liverpool against Wolves, it's a game that I expect that over 1.5 will come. Everton are staying at home. They are also playing some match. The Leeds United are playing against Sunderland. Ochina, there will be more of the midweek games. It's rich. Mamima, we're here for cool because English Premier League matches so on Copa del Rey match in Kawansem so on, and of course the Coppa Italia. The games are very interesting because even Soko Teki Krana, they are very, very interesting matches are all on Minty. And then the quotes no Nakokucha. Rich first one a BW 418 B091A. Second one a BW 418 AEB8C. Third one a BW 418 AC8A1. Then the fourth one is BW 418 A82A5. Now last one here, BW 418 A5D54. Rich. Okay. These are the codes in English Premier League, Coppa del Rey, Italian Super Coppa, and
coming to green.
Yeah.
England in the house in Shamazo 4.5. Fifi Manfred. Edna Motin and Kase. I'm going to need discussions, you know. I come a day. I
want to ask both you and Joshua. Sebastian Kase, they have the ability. Say a number of Matanda. Are they just saying it with a fictitious of one imagination, and now they know what they are saying?
Josh, read first.
It seems to me, sir, it's just an imagination. The expectation from the first leg was that definitely no, they would have gotten at least a goal or two. Because you cannot play against Atletico Madrid. Wash out 4-0. I went to me and TB. That is where the conversation is very nuanced. Komunya gola. The confidence would have been more, even with them talking about a remontada. But they are saying this more because they believe that coming back to the Spotify Camp Nou, their chances are relatively increased. But the question is, say, now Atletico Madrid share more than 4 to qualify. I don't think that is possible because it means, say, so come on.
I think that even for more Asian they've come to listen to Ayala say Barca betimi aya na say Barca ntimi nye simple na game bia ehun sam kaya no complicated kakra and rich and you might be brave and a bit decided and then you read the clash between Barca and the Atletico. And you know some the first leg in the coin. First half, na Atletico Madrid Barcelona 4-0. Barca can have the share go be obviously on was standing at offside or match home and so on position. The fact of the matter is Barca could so heavy against Atletico and Wanda Metropolitano. Now Barca ever back. There's so much belief so much in that over 24-0 results. Now Rich, nobody should blame Barca for believing in themselves. Bolivian sa ukwa na unya wanga sa umujide se akun ya mikwe meaning say day but me do kunim. That is the beginning of the fight. And unless you want to be mischievous and I say area in the environment of football trolls and the abasa you know but it is very, very normal. Say, Barcelona be show mu kurai. Say you know metimi. That is so metimi ampa. It starts from the mentality, and they are doing whatever it takes to get the mentality. Say, I need metimi. Now, Rich, there's a difference between who you mentally fight for a mission, who prepare for it, and they say ampa, who can execute. And so what bear 1 week in here, and come on work and tell me now, be how should I flick go into the game? Obetimia standing a chance, say Obetimia Romantada on what back. Na on attackers go brave. And when you go DM, na on Sir Daniel Olmo, Pedri, Fermin Lopez, Rashford, Mina, good game on him, no go full blown attack. And then on here, there be a lot of suggestions. Obiya analysis. But Rich, you project the Dario, but let's forget about Atletico for the moment. Now they are concentrating on Barcelona. I think Dario Sports have a lot of information because Sautie training in Barcelona here, any very, very close journalist or many to watch Barcelona training now. Rich, the closest I've seen someone got it right. I want the Powerball 11, you know. I had this one from Dario, not the Atletico one, the Barcelona one. Juan Garcia, Kunde, João Cancelo, left back, not Badi. Then Kubasi, Gerard Martin, now Pedri, Magbena, Fermin Lopez, then anymore Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, Ferran. But Rich, and around there, almost 11 more. There's one journalist in Catalan calls one. And I can say, I am okay. This seems to be the Powerball 11. But when you're inside source, we say, has a flick, no air game who say, even baby a Ferran Torres, I'm for that. Yes. Now, and Barcelona will play Magbena, Pedri, Fermin Lopez as number 10. And baby, Ferran Egina as the center forward, flanked by Rafinha and Lamine Yamal. Omujini say, Ferran is good. Our movements, our rhythm, our pace, our how. But who say Barcelona need a night where they will be clinical. Chance never anwashe. Ferran ebetimi ati wakuma on that score.
No chance I always
the man chance
no beseno.
They don't need that kind of attitude and character in today's game. They need a very, very composed clinical finisher. And the thing say Daniel Omo in and around the box is calm. Even under pressure. Until they are considering that. Until Rich, without knowledge, you put Barcelona 4-3-3, no? And because that decision has yet not been made, let's not put Ferran Torres here. Into Ferran Torres as Barcelona striker, Rafinha, Lamine, Marc Bernat sitting deep as number 6, Senebe over to me free Pedri, and Fermi Lopez as Barcelona number 10. Then a choice and yes, number 3 no left back no and your body, but one Cancelo with Kunde, Kubasi, Fermin, Gerard Martin. Now, Rich, the Barcelona Atletico and they believe say no, not tonight. Because Rich, just imagine Atletico throwing away 4-0 advantage. Now Barcelona you in the second leg. I mean, too embarrassing. Too embarrassing. But Mama guess answer we say be Asia. We knew me was a man. Rich. And anyway. You say pressure. Diego Simeone so. He have to do the job. Now saying come on, go phone about let's go say we are not what to watch. Or ya you get fool. Hey, yes, Atletico. Yeah, I say there is no baby for me so in Kenya now. Now Rich. En kuma ye di about Diego Simeone any Atletico Madrid Milano. If there is a timer and when you form what let's go Madrid, I may convince say I am not correct. It is if you give the game away tonight. So when you go for one and you must have film, which if it is for the first time, may sure say Serrazo everybody thinks look, this man have overlooked the time. Now, Rich, baby, I'll go for Diego Simeone and Semina Babiano. The person of Bubusan say, oh, now Diego Simeone or Corona. The way Atletico Madrid to meet you, it seems a perfect marriage. We are both team leader and we are coach, and we are coaching team for a very, very long. I said, our year on to team because we are cool. We are from Atletico Madrid and why. Rich, Papa James say, in the last about 1.5 years. The moment you consider, say, a bedroom may be on Diego Simeone, and let's come out of the Jumano. Do you know any about him? Luis Felipe. So, and I'm the one I'm saying, there are stories that starts like this. And if a coincidence could be our crown, yes, but you see it popping. Say, ultimately, Casey and Mia, and you go to me from prophets. Rich, on the night that Diego Simeone will be fighting for his job, all the Uncle Falca say, oh yeah, I go to step in Okwa, have been sacked a fortnight ago. Wait to say any king you money near Jumano or Lara because you're free from Flamingo. And you found to a seer, we will come back to it. Now, the biggest question, and I say, okay, who could afford now the cost 45 company? Barcelona, who should time from referee Boris to say king, they will come to attack you because they need to score goals. And a quite minor, Diego Simeone be fa so a either money for no buy and I say man where to come about Barcelona mo ban na no tia so ti no ashaw o ban na no tia so ti no ashaw o show be aso ma aduma near dem out then you start to lose focus. Rich when you said in the Copa del Rey and you no black leader one musu leader I was asking and they gave me still na no for one musu ko and also mo say massa and then you made no margin of error. You result of black keba. Yes, Musuna and a better. Then there's one crucial decision in midfield. Nanciano Musan was Drigo Mendoza. Rich and Tiaban said, name you of this guy. Very, very good fighter. Or athletic. Or bonus is a word you know. And Sir Usha. This foot mob, almost first 11 now. According to Massa, the only change, I need Johnny Cardoso, but a Abrantia friend Mendoza. It's on open a bit of fuel. It's in a typical 4-4-2 or about one.
I'm not, and I'm out for Kawansama. Oh, Romantada. Oh, Romantada, Basa, Agbena, Yabawene, and your Basa friend, Papa, Mujo, Kumazu Krodoma, and now some go to Accra, and Yama did the first free. Yanam Sana Tessa, Kono, Ada, Basa for some Betty and Yanambakui, Edio Masam de Amomo, Aquayamu and Nikoti, obey Mujabaya, Nanka Basa Fatite, but Namea Dom, and now Yabobon via Tesset. Basa wene bet Romantada and the woman to me and ye emom and the matches were after say a catch the Edmond Manchester City Bobo Corner and a Premier League matches here to drop woman in Ordinance Forest na elbow Aston Villa and Chelsea elbow Yebena Brighton and Hove up your money Arsenal and they said the Fulham Bobo Corner bet NFT woman anywhere some United elbow Manchester United Elbeko away to a Newcastle no more game net to me at no a matches and a to the and Sana Yenya Tottenham Hospital and the Crystal Palace game in Komaka Kwenye. Na me ko FIFA ko din Komaka kra. Yase FIFA for meeting. Atas World Cup of way omoya workshop e de man na setum sam. Wo makon for mobile World Cup ni nyina. Ama man ni nyina omoya workshop e de amomo. E wan yo so omoya no Atlanta. Atas enu ye USA. Ani e go bi say Iran for say na mo be kwa na no mo say. Yeah kwa ya de ho. Akwaya mu kwa ompeyasem. Na ye e go. But Iran for so mama omanyo mu mi tom for ma de nya de so mu na mesi onti bato reporter eba ayasa enai adese meeting ano so eba so na omode ma na setimsa wo mu eba wake up ni nyina e for no etese nya de se wo mu ebeba nti ene yankoba kakwa so a etodwa dwuma de so enai mika che kakra adi amaye district ya ananka se eno so eba so na meko eni UEFA for ana fe comebo for kodi nkoba kakra nano da me baba kato se sa finalisi mana yabono ani ye comebo dia wade wo mu eye championship ni DC ni naso ana fe Euros ndo di DC ni naso eno eye Argentina and Spain wo mu game anka se wo mu bono Saudi Arabia atase eye counter ana nka se wo mu kobo no kata ama me baba kato se ukoye ma ene reporter na tese eba se anka on the 27th of March ya anka Lucia Sports Stadium ho ana nanka game ni beto tap abusia reporter mensaka ya se wo mu tese ade no mu hwemu dia ho hwe ana kata no wo mentima anka kobo no kata enti yasi UEFA ana afi committee for the committee na sa meeting no etena ana me sa meeting no mo kwa pe venue wo metimi abona alternative IFN wo mbebo no mate se Miami e USA ana se ebi wo mbebo no London e UK enti sia no amami no UK ana US ana mo he se bi mu ba ko betimi ade penia naka o makwa kobo na si ma no ho but nkoma kakra men se ka se yes organizers ne party o maka te FIFA se anko menya party anka Asia ho na nkompeso mo bono wo munya no Asian country bi ankaja ho etimi kama entenka kata ho na nkomo pe beta the way niam si kwena ama chese omunse de hu ndi omo ye beta wo mu chese wo munya any other Asian country bia na se ombedi penia na sɛ nneɛma ɛma wo kwan wabra wɔyi na bia ntimi nsia wɔmɛ prefer sɛ wɔbɛbɔ no hɔ dansa wɔmede bɛba ɛyɛ Europe ɛno nkɔmɔ kakra so organizers ɛde ɛma fana sima no ɛba ɛwɔ dwumadie so ɛnɛ anɔpɛ mi kɛtire ɛde ɛma kaka ilaite bɛpatɔ ɛba no ɛyɛ Brazilian legend kaka ɛde mu ntintima yɛ pa wo players a wokɔ etera siri a ɔmo gye ɔmo din yɛ pa kaka ɛde mu ntintima na ɛno na ɛna anɔpa wɔde ama no mo bi ba wɔse na nsɛntɛm wɔtete sama fa so sisia no wokɔ etera siri a na asɛ siri a ne nya kɔnɔ biem siri a no nyɛ de biem in fact amanfo patronize biem na so nyame anim ne no kwem pa de wo hwɛ ɔmo time no na de campaign na de dia ɔmo time no satam yase nyina na anka siri a na egyina so ana na de Premier League no abe overtaking ana kyerɛ wafa ne ma de ase ne na so beta ɛno nkyerɛ so na league na ɛwɔ Italy na emu nya de ɔse dabi nkanka ofa ade sɛ Jamilan Derby say in fact emu yɛ papa league na competitive ana face no so exciting enti sania manfo ewu ne sɛ league no nneɛma dɔpia ma kyerɛ sɛ nya akɔno bie no wɔso no league na obo bi ne de onim sɛ ana sɛ ohu ne sɛ saa ana ɛte do sɛ nneɛma ba fam de beta sɛ na manfo esi ɛkana ma de na yehu no ɛnyɛ sana kyerɛ sɛ ɔno nso ehu na nom ɛyɛ nkɔba kakra sɛ the Brazilian legend kaka ɛde ɛba ɛwɔ dwumadie so mepato me kɔ the Portuguese legend no hɔ wɔn ne ɔmo wie bet so na ɔyɛ legend ɛwɔ Portugal ɛne yɛ Cristiano Ronaldo Aveiro Santos mpato opa na akɔ akɔpra wakwa na no da omu game omu boy no on the 80th mark ana tese yeyi chairman edi ni filimum na ni amensa kan say amnanten no ni pra no se ba hadwe kakra massive injury na wono so anya na yese akeka ko hamstring kra ana akwaya ni din de tendon yese no ana tese ho aka enti amasisi Cristiano Ronaldo amanfo se ana opana World Cup yi wetimi nkobi ana sese ana esi banti afi na nsam no asase efitina kori ebewura mu ye ebia sapra no entimi ma Ronaldo embo World Cup ya de ho ama ne bono enso ede beba na mamenko Mbappe na Mbappe situation no abusua no kura wo mpanie ya se Mbappe pra no sania doctors for na e Madrid e ma de ne yese enhyeda anya hu gidigidi bia no yase nya sa na te beye mantini yase Mbappe pra da ana tese sa brante no ho ana de bobo sa de ma Madrid na afa na brante reality aseti ina mo hu se sa eno na ka 100 days to the World Cup atese World Cup no so wan hwe want to be more World Cup ni bi na France man no kwa no mani abiri pa yase wan hwe omo ma Mbappe emo match afama Madrid kopim sa World Cup no beba because the all yes secret oh yes abrante ni pra no e pra hard ne so nim na nim ya wosi aka de ma Madrid the possibility say World Cup no want to be sanka farmer France man no very high and he say no yes France for na catch abrante say anka be anko on step no we say no beto ni ye enu sanka sa 100 days ni mrade na anka we full fit na wetimi aboa the France national team Madrid France so air say team na edida hetafe kra na ehome wansi aka a wo mo tro mo nti say no ade no mo hu ne ka say bia mo ka ma Mbappe Esiakai Adiama Madrid, Nebia World Cup no Timin Kobe, and I said Madrid front so Batiasia, Sanya Bay and Comba one and Kakran and waiting at 20 years, Sanya Bay on France, and so back World Cup this idea, and Nona Adiano, Emaya Dindiama killing Mbappe, Pranadia, Yesi Prana, Hardini Pa, Atas Mbappe Diagra, one where Adiano, Ebetimia Canato, and I reporter Mensaka, and with Tumedia Suena, pay me Kakra, Eddie Amana, Basa Fonso, I communicated. What was another Romantada na nka omo peso omo ye no two players casualty mienu na omo enya abrante de kunde abrante hamstring injury na wenya ne de yese da enya too bad sa but bad na Jos Kunde player ye de Landro bad so eba ye no bad so ba ya ono so wa ba be hamstring tie na ne de yese very bad part say ebe hard no ebe take care ha ansa na abrante ne be okay wetima ye okay ente no ada eno ye ɛyɛ deɛ totwa ɛwɔ Barcelona kata ɛnɛ anɔpɛ meka tire ɛdɛma na moma Felipe Luis na mini Felipe Luis ho nkɔba kakra pato ɔyɛ Chelsea former player Atletico wɔsi akan yɛ paa Felipe ni esisia no wokɔ Brazil na wopɛ coach sisia ɔno ɛyɛ Carlos Otto hɔ ɛne Pep Guardiola mo hɔ deɛ nanka ɛyɛ Felipe Luis na ekra no na ɛno ada na mɛka to sɛ Flamingo bobo kɔ ne kyɛ sɛ ɔma pam Felipe Luis ade a ɔmo so ade no ɔmo hwɛ ne din a wɔntumi nyɛ adwuma no abusa sa asam ne nyɛ sa na tio engineer ka sɛ wokɔ na bibia sia bisasa na no ɛyɛ dɛn ɛnyɛ sɛ ɔkɔ yɛ na deɛ sina yɛ toto mu ana tazo ha sɛ toto ayampia kwabena sa yɛ se 2025 ebe December mu hɔ no ana Flamingo bobo ko ne kato pay we say one person may counter the sense na demand because aduma na why dey ama Flamingo no many ju ye pa enti on to so na common say extension from until 2027 and you say pay say what yes sequence ana Chelsea for no friend na katan say and come person me Chelsea aduma no demand because Chelsea a new head coach answer na omedi ayelem Rose no beba no wono no mo ko no ho say come person omedi aduma no demand no and yes Chelsea ni di and this time na team of Flamingo atasa Batista wonu ayo president no Claudio Batista yes offer akwa we ya yes be 3 days na Felipe Anfra ne ko adente woni Chelsea for di nkomo big club aba Mose Flamingo enti yes sa Flamingo for ni huye wo man kasa ana mo dede ne nkakrakra ana kwaso ni Chelsea di nkoma enti aba be end January mu honom ana yes Chelsea katense bo ukra no enya Chelsea na nkasa ne yepese adima o na mom Chelsea ni abako na wo France Strasbourg ana nke pese ukokoko ti no se enkrofo we pa na mom hwamia ba bia madu pedigree Strasbourg de me de dem and de mempe yes ho ansa na Felipe Luis ya na adwe se ne woni Flamingo fo ne bedi nkomo na oni Flamingo fo bedi nkomo ba ya was it 2 years contract no ba ya no sika no ko me de man no so ade so me de bi ka ho afenso ni backroom staff ni na ade se team no ankasa fatu no zo metu o ka pepe pesa de ete and as team is no problem ana tasa wo me ne kaza sa o moboa o ma hu se Chelsea amfanti no ma o ma de so mbe mafia no pa yeso man ka hwia tra no na no munya coach o me de ne baba enti o me de Leonardo Jordan edi nkomo wie no ana mo bo game ni wi no so okwadio ene baba unua no na aba no ana so mo fe Leonardo Jordan ka ten se o me de Flamingo aduma ndi ama no no mo kwa kopa mo bu coach no enti pato what is ya pam Felipe Luis enya se bia ne mode mo nkwa ya se nya sa na empefo no hu se akwa no woni team na ni ye sanka Chelsea enkomo ko ya nko jomo hokoye enti so manya coach obebo ma ene onkoma fo from ne no ehun komo pa na ene anopay me ketere ediama na me ko inter wo mo president openya ni din ade ba pem rata na openya so no edi nkoma kakra edi abana nkoma odi ba ya watete sa Sportito ya kikasa na nkobe ko Arsenal na sa Arsenal na obeko no yesi omudi nkoma ye pa ama tese ne nyina aya kama na eno no se yankam emo bi anta se Arsenal for oma anye redo Arsenal fans da anye bibia official oma for official ayi bia mfa menti no se ne ametete no abonte no anya sa na te no mu player na nka so mo nto no mo se wo mo ntonton players is how wo mo inter no wo mo players enya tonton no mo yenti no Esposito na nka so mo nyoma dwen so mo ton betaja wiase de odim de ebesi date na de ebesi date no so de ayasa branch de tena ne reporter mensa aka awoduma de som makato so IFAB akwakwagiti aye grafin rules bebre adiaba atase yasase eba be yaduma ene wake up here de besase na Sevinga de ba kwa no yese offside na yese player no wo pa player no kura ansana wo be di offside what me di offside kwabna yaso ko Canada for say wo mo de ba besase yaduma anti Canadian football no offside no adi say player na tra ene o tra be sese a asana on sa kwa na offside no e de firi Canada e de eba e woduma de so nei make it de ma se FIFA be de atumi dia ene e bia dancha koma na sa avi na mata say yes say Premier League for no kwabra nim sa Arsenal na mo de sa ayi rule ndi aba se ye be 10 seconds play free park so ana be seconds bi se throw in and answer corner bar yes say Arsenal for kwabna tie openya ni de Pep Guardiola Man City head coach ana Fabian Hazard wonum ana Brighton and Hove Albion omo head coach kwabna two coaches ne say womu de say omo afa say runa man ka omo kro mo ntiase because woni Arsenal bona Arsenal nya kona kika kwabna 1 minute eko 2 minutes na na Arsenal nya kona no hom ade afa na Arsenal force say say bi gina goalkeeper nim say bi pimpim players womu say say de na mama football nya kono kra ana Pep Guardiola say wonu so ni nyina yakata say Premier League no say Premier League no so munya kona kika celebration at the Premier League clubs no na obam no obewu say ampa no crap because team it is Arsenal nya kona kick na Arsenal bebo a kwanya Arsenal befa so ebetu twomanian se be yakokwa asam na no Pep Guardiola ono so ase pa so no penya ni de Fabian Hazard say ono so ase pa and the saru ni dia ba ntimi hemu din no enkofo na Arsenal ana tese omu yidi atiomo enom reporter eba Rodrigo Goes at the statement at the ababonte akwabna okan wi a na tese awreho akan wi pa abrantense na wiase kwa sabio akamia say be de wo wiase ebi abanafa because was it niama ekosu anka on deserve sanka banso kwabna on ne hwan ekobisa papa nse papa na why adenti na mo hai eba mesom was it dia akwa na anu de kwabna ntimi se goals amanka made the 4 penalty ne ana Rodrigo nyame na dom na goals yaba ukọ made the team imsisi ananka players obo hu hia no Rodrigo go ese ka kwabna me kwate yeso epra ana banta se aye ne ya papa de ekoso no obisa se ne papa ma na uko bisa se ne papa man wo bisa se na wonso de wa na ne mesi ko ne papa m se wunya na badaja woni hwi ka nyame na tese oda no emom wakama mad the fans ni nya tese se mad team no woni team na wie this season wonti bi se kan former team ni bi esam plenty afa okọ na se team a world cup no so wonti bi ni team viso enkobi yare wo sema ono ne ye pa eno ye de Rodrigo Goes ade eba wo wi ababa pa ana ne bra panyini ne madavia eba bonte se in fact ono ne ye pa na o Rodrigo oso ono wo friend number 10 wo friend ne boy ana o friend no se wo no obedi na ade enti so nko no finish ye kan se ne mani ho a play onim so obedi na ade Rodrigo Goes ana brant ye kwako play na o ka ta brant se ni obi sa se bio ade che na wan so de a wan ne ko bi sa nyame asem no on fast dan for manyame papa no ntimi mbisa na he e ma ni nyeye na mom de obeka cha brant se ebri wo mi na se wono nkrofo a wo mo do ni ye pa no woka ne ho ede broma na se woka san nkrofo de be no sa na be obenya recheche na fensa ho ade na tima ba na mom no wosre se obetimi ama ne ho ato ne ntem na fe wasa aba back in his football career ano yankoma kakwa so nema ade eba e odwumade so na sisi a wopsifu so makodi aduro enkrofo we at Liverpool I home 2-1 asembe ni na teams akese ni bi omni omabobo no and results o menye wanwa wo mini Tottenham board draw mini City board draw ana wo mini Newcastle board draw wo mini Arsenal board draw o mute Liverpool o ma o mate ya kan say Aston Villa and so mo and do to me say niam nyina esi ade nkrofo na niam ya kama ade amomo na Cesc Fabregas ne de ono so ye no enya asem go to akwa bra dem say Fabregas any interboss yojo eno a do ye interfo no was o ma internship and omo pon game na yojo ono so woni ni ko mo team no big matches o ma bobo o ma ti Juve aso mo Napoli omo any Napoli in fact omo ni Napoli abodro ama ma to mo penalties afa wo ma san any esmen abodro Juve de o ma ho 2 times ano many times about don't to come there with me say near nyina aya kama ademo and romatada for in here and na papa we pa there o ma football cry boring too much e da be there o mentime nyina film to be there we near bon film pu we betimi na bo ene ne mo se wan kra man kataze ye wu se football na bo Simeon nkwa si mu de ba ya ane fa pema wato no se blog no kwa blog so na ye se ole no ane concrete o ayi Bembrix the breaks na ya tutu ni bia enti just we are the cry nye anu na nya sam ko akra awo the new Spotify and higher than higher Mark Benel go Hafinya go Benel biem wasambo bris nti anu da basa wo so ntra me asa beta anu no wi anu abisa se ekosi se kwabra de ekosi ya ne se 4-3 romantada no enya ma so pata ene matches ni bi eba so Copa de Rey na Ria Sociedad wɔn ne Atletico Bilbao na ɛbɔ Coppa Italia Lazio wɔn ne Atalanta ɛbɔ German Bundesliga wobɛnya Bayern Leverkusen wɔn ne Hamburger SV ana ɛbɔ Coupe de France ɛno nso quarter final yɛbɛnya ODC Nice wɔn ne Lorient na ɛbɔ Olympique de Marseille ɛne Toulouse nso ɛbɔ ɛno ada AFC PM wɔn ne Brentford ɛnso ɛbɔ ɛyɛ 0-0 ana Everton wɔn nso ɛwɔ so ntena mmienu ma Burnley Entimant Leeds United Sunderland ɛkɔtɔ bɔ matra baako Entimant na ɛno na Vio van Dijk sɛ the team no kwabena wɔsi the team na sakra dodo wɔsi the team pa na Liverpool bɔ slow wɔsi wei yɛde winning game na slow bɔ hin deɛ yɛfa winning Premier League game o ɛno ada wɔsi indecision bɛɛ bɔsɛsɛn biribiara nyɛ ɛno a nneɛma nsɛ da nko yɛ fam ɔmo na owie ne yɛkɔbisa the head coach sɛ wo player ne si slow mo hin ana kyerɛ sɛ odi coach team no sɛ sɛ ɔkasa ɔno nso ano yɛ obɛtumi de ama ne ba ne yɛ sɛ wopɛ sɛ ɔbɔbɔ na ɛnyɛ slow motion deɛ sɛ ɔdominate all sizes ne nyinaa ɛnɛ first half second half ne nyinaa wo dominate a dominance ane yɛde ɛwine saa matches bi sɛ nti no ɔne deɛ ɔbɛkaa no ɛne yɛ nkɔbɛka koro pɛi ne ɛde to dwa na koke ɛno ada ɔmo pon game no wɔse in fact sɛ ɛnyɛ paa sɛ aberante wɔyɛ Spain anka bɛha no paa abradeɛ ne di no ɛde Pedri Gonzalez wɔse Pedri ne mbɔbɔ papa na the Spanish national team na ɔmu kyɛe so ɔmanya player bi te sɛ ɛyɛ Pedri akoda ne mbɔbɔ too much na n'ani ate so ɔyɛ Spain ni ba yɛwie bɛbɛpɛ Rafinha ɛyɛ Barcelona player Rafinha se yɛnka ma obi ante sɛ kwabena 4 goals deɛ comeback de nyɛ izo ɔma no ɔmo yɛ aware sɛ saa 4 goals deɛ ne ɛbɛyɛ den ɛdeɛ mo better ɔyɛ very proud of the team no kwan no ada wɔn fa so ɛbɔ bɔ ɛne yɛ deɛ Rafinha ɛnso ɛde ɛba no sɛ Barca toa so bɔ bɔ na wɔn bɔ ne no ada no in every single game akwabena ɔsɛ game bie no a wɔn ntumi win ne nneɛma bie no wɔn ntumi ɛngye Barca ɛbɛtumi akɔ mɛnim yɛ paa ɛne yɛ deɛ Rafinha ɛde ɛba ɛwɔ dwumadie so na Diego Simeone sɛ wɔn pon game na bɛbɛpɛ na ɔkɔ Hansi Flick ɔno kata sɛ ɛy ɔpanyin wowɔ team pa wo team yɛ kama papa na mmom mebɔ mpa yɛ sɛ yɛbɛsia wɔ ɛyɛ UEFA Champions League quarter final yɛsia hɔ de yɛbɛdane ɛnyɛ sɛ de wɔnya ne yɛyɛ a woka ma team pɛ de no ɛnti mpatɔ ɛne yɛ de wɔ Simeone ɛnso ɛka ɛde kyɛ ɔpanyin ne de Hansi Flick na owie bɛbɛpɛ na wɔsɛ wɔkɔɔyɛ ana kyerɛ sɛ ɔkɔdi nkɔmɔ kakra wɔsɛ ade a ɔmo pon first leg no ɛha na pa yɛ sɛ na nkɛ sɛ ɔmo sɛ bɛyɛ 5 goals was it saa 5 goals ndi ntia na ɛsɛ ɔmo sɛ Barcelona 5 na yɛsɛ Barca fo no nim dia Barca betumi ayam ɔsɛ Barca nkoda ne yɛ stop ɔmo nim bɔ ne bɔ papa ɛnti ɔmo bɔ first leg no wi obi a bisa na sɛ bia ka sɛ ɔno n'ani nye sɛ ɔmo sɛ Barca 4 anka sɛ 5 na nkɔmɔ nso ɛde ma ɛyɛ Barcelona ne yɛ nkɔmɔ kakra ɔde tutwa ana ɔtɛ sɛ wɔn pɔn na ɔkɔ Rafinha ɛnyɛ sɛ ɔkɔ akoko nso no kwabena wɔsi deɛ nti ɔkɔ aberante no wɔ sɛ wusia player no onim bɔɔbɔ akata sɛ akoda no onim bɔɔbɔ wɔsi no paa bɔɔl na Rafinha bɔ in fact akoda no bɔɔbɔ paa ɛnto ɔkɔ appreciate aberante no wɔne Pedri wɔn bɔɔl na wɔn bɔɔyɛ Hansi Flick si yɛn kama obi ante sɛ ne steam no aso brave ayadeɛ sɛ akukuduro paa na kyɛ sɛ wɔn so na ama n'ani agye Lamasia boys de wa wɔn fa so esi aka in fact ayadeɛ a n'ani agye ne team yɛ paa wɔn to so sɛ ayadeɛ a abɛɛ kama deko si yɛn kama obi ante sɛ kwabena fo ne deɛ ne bɛyɛ de ɔmo yɛ awɛ dada ɛni ti na ɔmo pere ya sasa pawu kubasi goal na ɔmo de sa ala ɔyɛ no anka goal ni nyina because ɔmo nim sɛ saa fo ne deɛ wɔn ade kɔsi nyamia nim nie na bɛyɛ de nti sanka sa ekome ne baya ɛde na nka kyerɛ sɛ ɛbɛbɔ ɔmo ɛgya Chelsea wɔ game na Lebros no sɛ Chelsea ɛnwura Champions League mu ɔman qualify ɛnwura Champions League mu in fact ɛbɛyɛ bad paa Chelsea mmɔdenbɔ ɛne baabi ɛsɛ Chelsea do ɛyɛ Champions League for ɛyɛ next season ɛno ne adeɛ ɛsɛ Chelsea betumi agye trophy ama na yeye ɛnti sɛ nea nneɛma atɛ saa bɛbɛpɛ na no so ɛte agya ɔmanya sika akra yɛse around bɛyɛ 80 million pounds na Chelsea anya in the UEFA Champions League makɛka wɛkɛsɛ ɛnyɛ sɛ mudi adwuma no ma na ɛyɛ short term ni ntina kwabena ɔbɔ saa mmɔdemmɔ no ɔse yɛnka ma obi antɛ sɛ sɛ mode ma no full time mode ma no short time wɔne ne mmɔdemmɔ yɛ sɛ ɔbɛma tim no gyina ne naa so nti no kwabena wayi mu question na no wɔse nyɛ sɛ yɛ short term nti na wayere ho na pampampampa kyerɛ sɛ wɔgye hyɛ amanfoɔ ɔso sɛ mode ma na the same thing na ana bɛkɔ ne mmom no mu bɛhia ɛyɛ another ɛyɛ winger left winger ɛnti deɛ tiɛ no no abusua ɛberɛ no ɛkɔ nti no media si ɛkyena me ba de aka bia no baba bɛyɛ de ama Masmilalo ma mfa we mfamra yɛse Massimiliano Allegri so no yɛse Madrid for say o metimi anya na yɛse Fiorentino Perez say ope experience coach na ohwe Allegri so no Allegri betimi aye adwumanti afi mediasi
former Juve
yes
Allegri
yeah
and Madrid experience no mo ko for no
omunya na ombepe
so good team no
okay
okay Rodrigo issue no so harding pa but anyway untimi so nyim fan free aye football mu prane football there nini na aye adwuma bomti ye be fa ne sa na ati for yento adwumadi ne so emfa emam inshawan 4.5 we the midweek edition of Nhyira Digital Passports and na edi emam garbage on kabia for edi akwam ni naba akase Fifi Manfred and na Bismarck owusu bempa ayala and na Joshua Holutu abeka mo na afi di nkomo no edi emamba before no me bam chow ma yemfa sedam fama aye Winloft windows and door system na utie me na no pe na ye fiewura ofie no wasia dru time afi na wo ba be wie wo be hihye windows ene o doors na efie no so atimi aye complete am pa chow aye Winloft and na me come for mo and so edi amawo me pa chow wo into real estate so I was see a dying tournament ade a indina no obetimi alcohol na omo aye windows and the doors pa in fact ne bono and so from na nim so omo windows and the doors no mind in such a way say as obi tutu kura intimi from madam ho tu se kronfo bi abeso ya na obi no the rain side and so no enya dia obetimi ebi na ono so etimi awramanti so per sliding casement ban street nom window aye doors num ene aye bano aye shower doors ani nyina aye ade akwa onsa ebetimi akabi awo aye Winloft windows and door systems na omonso abe ene kama pa ade ama ntimi sew fiewura bia wutie me and arrested for no me pacho fie bia wasi bia opese security and so aye assured no me pacho eno anu so come ho na oman kama and so dia man na nyamia ni as out your prices no o share the quality of work on by the amount and this car and our charges no almost so betimi charge dey free na onso tua na ade no from pa fo etimi so ko na efa aya windows ene o doors no sem na no fa ko down mo na amso enya ne kama pa and so emfa amount na de ten say oboso ni di nkoma your number no aya 0537 817-472. What you're from? Also, Richard, some from that minimum any and common pamchow. I gusua our Ramadan carrying na Union Munkamufo and Sugusua among air fasting no. Animal and electoral Ghana essay. Richard catch us and to my Ghana Nibia Ongram our electoral showroom bia non kotadi because of Ramadan carrying you know. Yatitinia Manuso episode bia as you tobi. Na what they echo afie because omuvia on say sala no na bibia enso eye kama enti ye dem ani na from kankan to kankan ade a yate so open Nasco TV 699 and 700 cities on sabetimi akabi open air fridge 1999 me patro new 2000 cities kra on sa ebetimi akabi open chest freezer and also the same air 1999 on sabetimi akabi washing machine Samsung 29999 and afi Samsung microwave and also 1799 nindina yatete air bono so open air TCL me patro TV 299 on sabetimi akabi water air dispensers no and also 1599 enu air 160 poso nindina ayade a okọ electrolanda obetimi na onso akakuto bi fo chese ye niam ne de bibia owura electrolanda ye to bibia no ayade a tetebo no so etimpacha onso wuram awo aye Electroland Ghana Limited omo showroom bia na eniam me bobo so ni bebre ka ho me ntimi nkika ni na nti era so de wankasa ko ho wura ho okọ ade ope no na woyi na wotua kana afi bibia aye kama and so edi amount ene anopay na ebusa for the ten say edura ya to the cancer measure and so awo eyedwa so na cancer measure no bibia efa pain so say yaw oti yaw ni peduanim baby oti yaw ni bia no eye cancer measure and I come for edi amount ene anopay say eye attractive pain me pacho kotobi na onso enom ebetimi aboawo na bibia kama obi won ma awoba kakra bia wontimi nyawe because uti se unompe no emu yaw ya just the way si twetwon ne ade no edansem kitokra basa wan wi no china adwuma kura kuta na ebe furu nsa eniti koto cancer measure na enom na ebetimi aboawo ye pa me pacho se do no ebi aba komase atonsu market ya odi ebi ana abayina fe number yi na yenkyerɛw so ho sɛ na bia wo so betumi akɔgye aduro ni bi sɛ wo tɔ baako bi ana utu akɔtɔn number no ɛyɛ 0244 871862 ɛno ɛyɛ cancer measure yɛ number ɛno no ɛyɛ ano afrɛ na onien enso edi enkomo no kama pa me pacho match bia no Ghana month aha se ho ena Ghana yenso yenya afa hodie edi free broni enso nsem nti dru honoma every the month of March bia no enya botena Ghana ya celebrating ye enso dia kashi yenya afa hodie enso edi free brofo no enso nsem na ye Ghana month ena Nhyira FM yene Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry Commerce branch no yenso ye room into partnership na partnership na ye room ni na no ene say ye baba ye fair na ya tuni din Ghana Man Fair 2026 and yet bed display Ghana niema so ye kente niema ye de toto yensa ekwanya yamane ne yamamre ye faso ye ne bibia Ghana niane ni na ye de bibaba fair na se entibi kura oyobia o abrochire so ho and oba Ghana because of Ghana Man tinti obese oba na Ghana yamamre ne yamane so ho eniema ye hihye ye kente ni ade yi obetuto bi na de kwa abrochire na so koton a eda no fair na so betumi aba fofofofofofo ya ni search so bia ba onso betumi atade na ode akonti oni che ho na onso fe opeso oba ase a obetumi aba nyame ya adoma eba so e Kumase City Mall and adwumadie no and so eba so e sha say on the Friday 27th na ye on the 29th of March, which is Kwasiada Kumase City Montiano Ashen so na edruha also wait me abadwadi no as ye kono na P phones and accessories na P phones so say still na your Ghana mantinim and into do no so betumi aye at the amount sentiment say the month of March we know in fact obi abawram awo aye na P phones no aba betode no and nema de ye chebi ne esate so ye che ne ete so na nema ya tete so ne bi nie me pacho se sia me kasai owram awon na P phones na accessories a yam fridge also to be edi coffee a me pacho as low as 1300 on sabetimi akabi na onya fridge a obi anyusu da kosu dem freezer and opa and also as low as 2500 on sabetimi akabi iron 100 cedis opeso to adia iron 100 cedis on sabetimi aka iron ope blender na they are blending yama ofie 200 cedis rice cooker 250 air conditioning as low as 2500 just say eniema no abafo fo ya tini nyina so a ya be so obi awuram ewo na P phones and accessories eno home appliances eno no eba phones so a phones no so ya teso pa Samsung, Nokia, Tecno, Infinix, Itel afi Z phones no nyina ya kofa bi ediaba na enkra no so omo tablet na omo disua de no eno so ye the original aba nyina ya tete eyebo no so na onim say yam phone so no asan say ya tebo no so no ebia na opeso okuta Samsung ba usika no enso ukra half na P say Richardo kache ni say ode omra onfa no Ghana card enka sika na ode ban ho obai no betena se na otua half no na fi ya spread the aka ne the amount from 3 months to 12 months no tua no kakra ene number 1 number 2 ene say owuram awon na P phones and accessories abeto ade a enema ye che bebre souvenirs ewom sanso na eba no eye Ghana yen jesi eno so eye ade a ye chebi and afin so na ba no World Cup tikita eno so ye san chebi ewo eye na P phones and accessories ntimi so wuram ewo Kumase adum baby miensa ene ewo first one no adum opposite Acid House Kesmi Media on sabetimi akai ewo ho adum number 2 ɛyɛ Obiba JK building nim opposite Prudential Bank ahonso yɛ hɔ ɛna PZ Nana Kosi Ajama building nim ahonso yɛ hɔ ɛnkan mepacho mon ko Madina Zongo Junction ɛna Tamalediɛ no ɛyɛ Abuabo station mon sabetumi akan 0533093422 na mone ɛyɛ Nana P phones and accessories penino ending common afi also cotton yamani bida bibia enye kama amfa amount makacho energy drink the FM and ese wonum so and na beboa na energize o kama na adwuma bia wo ye bia adwuma na den se de ode onum vim ni wi a wa na abesa ase de dance no se de na ase mura no wo fom na wo kwa adwuma kra se o te se wa bre woni paduanim ente ka keto abru kan ka wo je adwuma ko me pa cha wo de to eye vim energy drink ni bi nanum nanum wi a vim na de be ma no obekọ adwuma ne simple kra obebo adwuma wa kra bebu say eh na nyam na nam abra na say me person me ye adwuma kra say me ye adwuma kra me tinti me sew aya na wato aya vim energy drink no enso bi aya Trillium Industrial Limited omo enade aba aya edwaso ameka sisi yi unsa abitimi akabia eno de aba 1042 insurance 4.5 yen start discussions no emfa emmamo fifi Manfred and Aisha said, "Am I Govi? Good morning."
Is
I'm here doing kakra. We be very fine.
Say be our code.
Yeah. Okay. Independent complaining, baby.
And how did you watch the game? How did you see it? It will maybe panic here now.
Yes. Especially time Barcelona am third goal. No.
Michelle Andy so wait me show me touch na mama.
Time at omunya third goal no. I think time na kano. The possibility Barcelona between the fourth goal. A pushy game na call extra or penalties, you know.
It was high.
No, it was very, very high. But it was quite unfortunate. Barca and Timmy had that goal.
Yeah.
And Tina so we have first leg in the goal now. I'm saying now this Kubasi goal now. I'm this alone how mono. Na Diego Simeone no Kofi. Agwan nti Atletico Madrid for mutimi pamana.
Are.
Onyade.
Are.
Onyade.
But isn't not the pressure that was at the Spotify company and mom kugu echirisa?
No. Pressure there here.
Because Utie Julian Alvarez
because time and hour kono.
Yeah.
Only Atletico Madrid team na kono.
Yeah.
Minim se na ono ankasa Diego Simeone nim se Barca be created that intimidating atmosphere.
Yeah.
Or company.
Yeah.
But
like I'm saying, Julian Alvarez said they didn't plant. In fact, Joan Musso, who is their goalkeeper, and Julian Alvarez, they said two separate things. According to Joan Musso, the plan was to protect Omolid and Omkitan. Then when you listen to somebody like Julian Alvarez, Alvarez said the Spotify company was so intense that Omomujina Park no some person game the ending. Yeah, they wanted the game to end. Which you see, yesterday Barca could not turn it around. But the very reasons why are not for some of us, we said that Sebastian Nibia Sorina Sokase and Obetini and Remotanda against Atletico. And you're bizarre. And you see the Nipana Bodano, it was clear. It was just not enough. Because when the game started, if you've even after say game now in the rich, if you scan through social media, Barcelona qualified, but they are very proud of our team. You know? Everybody's talking about the efforts that they put in, including Hans-Peter Flick, Barcelona players, and everyone. Rich, let's start from when this graphic of how Barcelona put it together. Who's a man qualified? Or a graphic no black and white. Usually it's a Barca for sure. They do a graphic like this and they put Victoria. I mean, I think victory in Spanish. No mind colored or colorful, just to say someone winning. But yesterday, it didn't go on well like that for them. Atletico have gone through in the conversation of the Copa del Rey. Rich, when Hans-Peter Flick decided to go into the game, we mentioned one thing, said, Adie Baku here the very first reason why Barca can turn it around is Hans-Peter Flick's high-octane football. He started the game with Jacques Cancelo as we expected. He played with Gerard Martin, like Namoka said, Mope Gerard Martino, Ebo Pau Kubasi. Then, of course, started with Jules Koundé. Koundé Kuku Prime. I know they Alejandro Balde by, but because Cancelo can play on the right and the left, he could easily switch and then put Alejandro Balde to his natural foot. But the problem was in the middle of the pack. Who was he going to deploy? He started Femi Lopez, Nembi, Mark Bernal, of course, Pedri Gonzalez. Then up top started Ferran Torres, knowing that this is a big game and he needed Ferran to step up. Rich, when you look at the Atletico Madrid team, it was not a defensive starting lineup. Julian Alvarez was in the starting lineup. Simeone was in the starting lineup. Ademola Lookman was in the starting lineup. On a regular front three, and Antoine Griezmann, front four, was in the starting lineup. But this happened after the game, Rich. This was the average position of Atletico Madrid for after the game. Oman tra 18 line box. Oman tra center second. Average position. Yekika Atletico for movement. They didn't go past the middle of the park.
At the point, numbers are the 70 plus.
Yeah, ball possession.
I normally I'm 20.
Because you see, how sometimes it's psychological. Who said the Mbappe catcher will say? Say Obi taking the lead in the first league now we need maybe a 1-0, 2-1. I think it's more difficult than when you are going away and you are losing 2-1 at home. Because psychologically, how to approach the game becomes difficult. It's just like what Galatasaray did. Galatasaray said Juventus saying and San Hoko GV 5-1 or so. Then in the game, yes, in the game, they can't play because naturally as Wajeno, you want the time to pass. So if you don't do the psychological work, it makes it tough for you to deal with the game. Which this is Atletico Madrid. I can understand more questions about Diego Simeone, but I don't want to put another match in and say that okay, Diego Simeone did a huge mistake. I think psychologically it was going to be difficult because Barcelona they'll come at you, they'll start playing, and again. The Spotify campaign this season almost started ball. I think 8 league games that he had played proud. No more lose match.
Yeah, sure, say.
Yeah.
Oguacheni be brain so Emma Barca that advantage. Say, look, let's pounce on them.
Which I don't think is intentional.
Because this Barcelona team, so one attack will be at them beyond the bone the big also.
Exactly, but
so attack them too.
And you intentional say or what could go actually.
That's a more on trans a middle.
No, a average position, you know. So let's yes, you can it literal son. We already say yeah, I left to fun and trap.
Matthias, yeah. But how many times no matter?
Oh, do I take me CH? Anything I make us say, and you don't know what said and one person better. Atletico nya go. But you're starting ball and you're pinning the back. But a pressing, no more counter pressing, no more pressing, no more counter pressing, no more jibon to hate them. So I don't want to make as if they intentionally wanted to go and defend the lead. Johan Musso said it. Said naturally they wanted to defend the lead. But it becomes more difficult when you play against Rich and come over against a team or more Atletico who almost be better than them. Maybe they could have opened up more. Maybe coming up and come back to Mbwasikaka. Now come up and next pass. But because only Barca only to say wow or even better than Unity. Unya bona na ho pro bolong. Ntu bolong ani ajeni asaba. No aboni asaba. No aboni asaba. If you don't take it, Rich, when the first goal went in for Mark Bernal, I said, hey. See, Atletico Madrid, Diego Simeone. Or see, we are Atletico. We are destined to suffer. Bre will read you, man. Normal thing for them. And you look at Barca's average position, which was more in Atleti's area. Almost every time in Atleti's area. Now, ESPN Eddie Sa annotation we have told Twitter last night. Rich, almost everybody was in Atletico box at one point in time. Obia defend the ball. And when Mark Bernal got the first goal, I asked myself, say, how is this game going to pan out? Rich, Lamine Yamal as it stands now, he doesn't have the Ballon d'Or to show, but Sisia Yeka say, if you are taking the form of the last 1 month coming, he's the best player in the world. And almost every time, when he has to prove, he proves it. Rich, ball on him, ball. Yeah. And he will go places, especially now that he has moved away from the regular things that do not need the off the pitch nyemanana and winhiano. And make I say time and now dating girlfriend with the people that say that let me know I made it through baby or name mom. See, it is true, but you are doing now, especially when God raises us. But putting those things aside, focusing on the field of play.
They say he's focused.
I think it will take Lamine a lot of places. And the football keeps on getting better. And oh my God, left, right, the magic of Lamine Yamal, creating of the goals and all of that, and giving one assist. he was very, very important to Football Club Barcelona. But I can't end it without speaking of our branch friend Mark Barnal. Rich, on a night where there was no Frankie de Jong, it was the boy that's supposed to be the new Sergio Busquets in the Gina Finfin, a police strings no Emma Football Club Barcelona. Not enough, but Rich, what do you think this is going to do for Barcelona for the rest of the season? Because you're both game, you know. Barca players think now say the SC no more confidence say Champions League neighbor league you know but it gives them confidence for the Champions League. Psychologically, I think it gives them a huge boost.
Sure.
Say even Champions League oba show oba come now share no crown oba Spotify Camp Nou, they can do something huge against you. So that is a very good one. Barca may not have won the battle, they may not have won the war, but obviously the battle was won, and psychologically in the long term they did that. And now she Wolves in Liverpool match.
To a better cram behind what you want.
I don't know, all like a call for now.
David. I was a young home shut up from that. And he has a coffee in my da.
Okay.
Jimmy, I be no pen number. And go for a bottom, but it is Yano. I'm not picking at the right time now. And a pen number catches and to say. So I'm going to say, I think if you meet me a free relegation zone him.
It is going to be magical.
I know it. I know it's very, very difficult.
Yeah.
And then I says, so bet me at 12 to say, yeah. What the Roman last bare 5 games with the big teams.
Yeah.
Manchester United, City, Liverpool, Newcastle. I'm on a good result because we are sitting with Obia Sharano Sham.
Yeah.
Obia Shano Shenibi. But then, even at a point of Shema, Liverpool Bettiano, they went ahead and beat Liverpool. So first 9 come draw.
You see, mathematically, it means the Wolves in here out of the next about 8. I call them 8 matches now. The 8 matches now. In there, you are looking at somewhere around 24-ish points, right? In the 8 games now. Wolves should at least get 15 to 20 points because so many 30 points components not enough, almost 16. So let's say they need 20 points to get 36 points, no matter better than Newcastle cider. So in getting 20 points, it means that they have to win a whooping majority, like 7 out of the 8 games, like I said, Moshe.
Which is difficult.
Near impossible. Home, away, home, away, home, away. That is the thing. So it looks as if a little bit too late for Rob Edwards and in the boys now. All right, I need to say something. And now, Michelle Wolves midfield no. Now Michelle Liverpool midfield no. I was convinced in my mind that Wolves want to have a better midfield trio than Liverpool midfield too no. Mohamed boy Gomez. Okay, that's young Gomez boy that was a Manchester United that went to France that came in. Then there was also Andre Gomez. I think Andre one of the best DMs we're league in.
Onukwani man of the match.
Yes. Andre in the Brazilian national team usually plays. Then there was another midfielder. 3 solid midfield pair. All of them very, very good. Which, who do you compare what Gravenberch and McAllister were giving you? The Wolves midfield 3 showed a lot of legs. What Rob Edwards have done is that we're integrating players with the same money who have come in. Very tricky, very direct, and they play open football. And for me, immediately I was watching the game and I realized the Wolves were outrunning McAllister and then of course Grant Gravenberch in the middle of the park. I began to tell myself that this game can go anywhere. And oh boy it did. So it gives them that extra edge. They had beaten Aston Villa in local derby. No? So if you get the Midlands derby winning and then you want to build on it against the champions to get the job done, which they may not be able to stay in the league, but one thing is for sure. So I'm called championship in one month. They'll come.
Okay.
Rob Edwards best and your mama. And when they come, they'll do big things in English Premier League. Rich, what happened yesterday, you know? Say, and I start and qualifying for Champions League, the road has ended for him, Anna.
Definitely.
Xabi Alonso, Felipe Luis.
Also Liverpool's one bet.
There be among kind, but those are the coaches on the market.
Okay.
Enzo Maresca.
Also, when you baby uncle.
Maresca, I said almost City. That was the report. So when the season ends,
now he's on goy. Pep goy.
Again, the reports that Pep will go. It is a season end there near.
I go have a fiache.
Oh, no, Nisika no, because on trace out of one rich. Omo ye pamo ma enye me ya o.
Go fi enye yi disika de ka. Me say. Say is it adwuma na ope. And ope bi so onkoi.
There's a pep and call you.
Onko dia no okoi.
Season aka 8 matches.
And okoi. Is it Maresca na okoi. Yeah, when the games why na.
Whatever the case is, that's the reports. Until once the season ends, according to the reports, Enzo Maresca ever called them. The thing is that Liverpool phone have been undone by the same thing on the amount for the beginning of the season, conceding at the death of games. 90+7 against Crystal Palace, 90+5 against Chelsea, 90+5 against Bournemouth, 90+3 against City, and of course 90+4 and against Wolverhampton Wanderers. What this has done is that blew the top 4 wide open. And then I think that there is a big opportunity for Michael Carrick and then the Manchester United team to open up the gap and then open up between Omo and Liverpool and also Aston Villa, depending on what happens in the Chelsea game. What will happen is that Michael Carrick game Manchester United game against Newcastle is tricky, and it's same for Chelsea. Liam Rossini is also playing another tricky game where they are going to play against Aston Villa away from home at Villa Park. United so away from home to Tyneside to play at the St James's Park. It is going to be very, very interesting. In fact, I think you don't want to miss any game at all at our English Premier League game, and starting with this. Liam Rossini and Nhyira say, based on the things that have gone on, what is the target for Chelsea? Say top 4. Qualifying for the Champions League and non-negotiable. Now, after 28 games last season, now Chelsea were more points as it stands now with 49, and Chelsea are 45. They need to do the job against Villa. Now, Liam Rossini said, "Oh no, the person who the players needs to learn their attributes when times are hard, not when times are good, because good times there, Obia will be." Say Chelsea are away from home, they are the team in the English Premier League almost share the most goals. Or go away from home, Biana, they get a lot of goals. Which I get the feeling that Liam Rossini's tactical secret and plan this evening is going to be Alejandro Garnacho, based on the pre-match press conference. Who said Pedro Neto? So it means that Chelsea are without a winger. Estevan Willian, they're not too sure about him whether he will start or not. Most likely over the weekend against Wrexham, he can be fit to play. But in the end, he's not too sure. It means that the main full winger is available. Also because Gittins isn't available. No, Brandt friend Alejandro Garnacho. And I think it fits Villa. Villa the onus is going to be on them to attack and then find the winner. The plan from Liam Rossini, which I think is going to be, is to sit back, not too deep, allow Villa to do a lot of the incursions. Then the plan is to use the pace of Ali Garnacho to get in there. Makasi said Garnacho against a low block and you want him to dribble, you won't get the best out of him. But if you play against a team that presses you in their space, then Alejandro Garnacho can exploit that. There is a good thing, the fact that there is the absence of John McGinn or Team Wemo gives me a lot of good vibes. Meaning, with this starting lineup, I have a little problem. I would rather want to see Fofana and Mamadou Sarr. I don't know, for some reason, I would want Chalobah to be rested. Mamadou Sarr. I like Mamadou Sarr's calmness on the ball against Arsenal. I wish he would team their mommy. Even if he doesn't transfer for that command international chain, number Sarr and Chalobah. Rhys James again, he mentioned Rhys Betinha started. Malo Gusto, I don't think again should start. I think Jarrah Hato should start because against Arsenal he was good enough and he deserves to be rewarded. Santos, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez looks like a good one to me. Palmer, Abrante friend Joao Pedro and Alejandro Garnacho. For Villa there, it's the regular back four with Martin, Tyrone Mings, XG Konsa, Marty Cash, Amadou Nana, Luis, Ross Barkley, Jadon Sancho, Rogers, and Watkins. Who is the first leg number one stand for Bruno? Chelsea, they can't share first goal. Omo Danny Omo Koba here. Danko Fonati Ashomo 2-1. Rich, the only unbeaten manager left in the English Premier League. Say Carrick. Or go away to Tyneside. Is this the day?
I think so. The game's not done this season back on here.
The match in Asi big boy.
Oh, wedding, pa game we did.
It's very big boy.
Me kind of crash out.
Very big boy.
Very, very difficult.
But Leandro Martinez is.
But I think you bet me manage Droby in this game. Win the fine.
Yeah.
But I think win Edding.
But when you win this get top 4 is assured.
Sure.
Yeah, once
top 4 the Edding, Bobo. Top 4 the Edding. Top 4 the Edding, Bobo.
But
Newcastle game Edding.
Very tough.
Eddie wasn't some result in Koyimo.
Yeah, almost
I said the hour Chroma catches some.
Yeah.
result now we gaman one here be pamo.
Yeah.
And these are games or the be proving
Yeah.
I catch him penny say look, if you are more sad you know crana think twice.
But we were starting lineup center back and names also. I was worried Kakao. Heaven any Lenny Euro.
I don't want to know.
Hey, I'm worried.
Heaven no.
Heaven is good, but you see
Heaven.
I'm not
Who heaven, who in India, who in the heaven, now, yeah, oh, the ball off. Heaven and hell, no, did you know that? A combination of heaven and hell.
and then we heaven. Which I didn't mean you're worried about.
On my pressure off.
Hey, just the physicality when I'm playing.
I'm not know ya dream. But it's a God and Monday.
Yeah.
That almost striker, your friend say.
Okay, Votamad. But he's not even starting.
Votamad, on do a very good one.
Yeah.
On there's almost who picked up on the ball.
Now, can you want Visa?
Visa crown, on Murphy.
Okay, Murphy.
Murphy physically, no thing.
Yeah.
So what I say, if you want to bet you,
I mean, Newcastle team here very physical. Joe Linton from midfield, very physical player. In the centre backs, I'm looking at, situations in set plays. Which, to be very honest, I think that more gameplay suits Newcastle for, especially when they are playing away from home. Newcastle have to be smart, and yes, it's going to be like the Everton game. Carrick knows the English terrain. He will not be too over elaborative on the ball. He doesn't even have the midfoot and the legs to do that. The plan will probably to stay into it. Newcastle for under pressure, they are playing at home. They would have to open up. They would have to play. If they do and then they are not perfect, that is when the pace of Benjamin Sesko, the pace of Mbeumo, like against Everton, gets to hurt them. But from where Milton, I feel like Eddie Howe will allow United to say, okay, when I hear the big boy, when I momentum outside, come and play the football and beat us. And they don't try to catch you on the break using the likes of Anthony Gordon. So tonight is the I am very certain say a very good game at Yebeshe. Arsenal near Everton match, Arsenal near Brighton and Hove Albion match, On paper, it looks like a straightforward match, but yes, and it's one year you lose out on it because of the set pieces. What Arsenal get when they go away from home. Utie, Fabian Hezeler on the time you spent. Arsenal spend on set piece like Nagabi Kachona. According to Fabian Hezeler, say Arsenal airball matches are, and if you look at the data, they spend too much time on set pieces. For me, the main topic is to make it clear how much time you can spend to waste on a corner for a throw-in, for a free kick. I think no one recognizes it. But when Arsenal has a corner and they are leading, sometimes they spend over 1 minute just to take a corner. And Rich, to be very honest, I think this is where the issue is. The issue is not about, say, Arsenal for a corner share, they play 2 penny corner kicks. No. The Premier League is evolving. Almost every club. And I say this every time, say, it started with Brentford, who have done a lot of work to take advantage of the set pieces. But the issue is that when Arsenal do, they take all the time in preparing. So according to Fabian Hezeler, the Premier League should find a way that they give you specific time. In 30 seconds, you should effect the kick. Senebia, it doesn't affect the time that the game is in play. And yes, it affects it. Percentage of non-penalty set piece goals, of course, Arsenal for have increased over time since 2021-2029 season. Uko Premier League Nima, according to the Athletic, average time per corner, Arsenal for taking 0.40. The next team to them, Tottenham Hotspur. Almost every team take less time, but Arsenal take a lot of time. Of course, Nicolas Jove would want Arsenal to get the best out of them set piece, which is very important. Mikel Arteta say, I am upset that we don't score more and that we concede as well. Of course, he would want his team to score more. Very tough game because Arsenal have had some difficult times when they go away to go and play against Brighton and Hove Albion. But now and then you may share very interesting games, and I will come back and we have more to come and give you the analysis. Richard, and then there is a strong feeling that the boys are going to pick a lot of money, so you don't have to miss out on this. Midweek games, and when it starts here, it goes on today. Today's games are better, and I'm very certain saying that boys need to pick at least 2 codes ebebo. Now, first one I'm doing now, and I'm more for no team radio so a BW41 EA0E36. We are 10 odds. The second one a BW41 E9 DF The third one no BW 41 E9 885C. The fourth one BW 41 DF 8C35, right? And the last one BW 41 DF7BE. These are the codes, right? And Yadiko figures here.
Okay. Ovi yadase yemfa fifi Manfred nsi wona Besmark Uchi Empire and so Emra na Chelsea game ni de ope sure better a red card. Na dia no de and they say defenders na ba ko be say the red card bi. Nti me sure better am de ma say den ya game no. Ibenya red card our Chelsea ne Aston Villa game no. And so our Prince attack Pogos Newcastle win by 2-0. Nti da omuntimi nhyɛ na sɛ nugas de omuntimi nhyɛ and yes your president nti ɛnya dia ɛden kra. I know that Arsenal would do if they remove set pieces goals from EPL. Ahimba Kobi him Jan this message at the Abre Nano pay Besma go Super Empire la to so at the I might also bet me the message number Obito come your say rich shame on you Fifi. And who doubted Manchester United in the top 4? I said from the very start of the season that Manchester United will make it to the top 4, but none of you believed me. Never underestimate Manchester United. We are simply the best. Obito come and Odessa message Abre and Anope. I can also bet me the message number na ya can kind at the amount and Rabasa Romantada no amfa. But Josh, I was saying no the kind. Say Barca beat me a share, but qualification maybe to me. Say we the me too expectation.
Well, only say yeah, in fact the expectation was met, so that's number one.
Okay.
Number two, and they say me, I was really surprised how na Atletico Madrid person born a game, because even though definitely na pressure no was going to be on them, but Rich, how could you play only him say come on match no et was so kakre bien for the same come the be 5 or 10 minutes e kan ho a Barcelona bet me that fourth goal to drag the game into extra time. I was really surprised. Now I was saying at least Otimi who said scoring a goal would have increased their chances of being more comfortable in the game. Because as the game was progressing, now Omo panicking more.
Yeah.
So it was just invitation of pressure. Wow. So I mean, Barcelona, all credit to them. It looks like they have built a lot of momentum. Now that Real Madrid and so are slipping on the league log in the La Liga, no, this particular victory, anye remontada na anye successful, no, will still give them confidence to play very well,
especially in the Champions League, no,
and in La Liga, no.
Okay, me that's it, pa. Besma ko Super Empire la to us na Jonathan Quay. I say waiting Nhyira, the man standing that believes. Okay, I said the one man standing that believes Arsenal can win the league. Okay, Jonathan Quay on this message at the Abraham George. I'm not certain on YOLO and heaven defending. And you remember who I'm live and call it. So I'm preach the whole at the Manchester United. The best man goes to Empire. Good morning.
Good morning.
Bibi aboko there.
Oh, Nyamiadom. Bibi I fine power.
Minim says call na how.
Of course, say lady.
Now okay.
Exactly.
Say shed the ambashe.
But
by qualification the bad thing.
It will not be enough. You see, football na idea a certain funny way it writes its stories. Which unim say nay. Barcelona for that story anopa. Now the reality dawned on them say Enra, even though they were able to win the game 3-0, still now no Atletico UEFA Champions League anymore.
Copa del Rey.
Copa del Rey. There's only one thing I ever born with him. That goal they scored at the Wanda Metropolitano. It is someone to back and forth, VAR. I about say also on Gina. You watch the replay, you are like, I didn't know mind you go no. You look at the face of the Barcelona people. The catcher also say, in the way of football stories here, they will come back to that goal and say, Sankia Jesabo now. And that is what played out in Nhyira. Now, on the 18th of April, Atletico Madrid at least book your first ticket as finalists of this year Copa del Rey na year bono because they were able to beat Barcelona. And even the front page of the Marca newspaper, congratulations to Atletico and that they are in the finals of the Copa del Rey. Now, Rich, Barcelona is hugely successful when it comes to the Copa del Rey. And until say Barcelona making it to the final in the context of Spanish football, a big achievement at the mount. Big one. At the Maxima, your friend Atletico Madrid. Now, meaning say if Asama making you've observed it too and may correct her. Rich, even Barcelona free Champions League in him and Copa del Rey in him. But after any game, no, every Barcelona fan seems to be okay.
Sure. Train on the Alice.
I say,
yeah, no, when you
yes, you're film, but with some swag. Let me tell you why I support Barcelona. And it is linked to Nhyira and why today, this morning, every Barcelona fan feel very, very comfortable. My first affection to Barca was Rivaldo. I loved that player. And during France 98, and I said, Rivaldo to me, I was supporting Brazil. Then I got to know he plays for Barca. And I'm saying, oh, and I'm waiting more, and I want to support it. Rich, my first unique love for Barca club, no, after Rivaldo, and when I found out they rely so much on their own academic products.
La Masia.
That unique, sad and all. Rich, where Manchester United need, there is once a woman kitchen kitibia. Am I your love for Manchester United? Who catch you be any pacono on to us yet? But it is a woman who feel sad and warm, and until I would do Manchester United, you know. Rich. Nhyira, Barcelona line up in the Bayern. How many top teams in the world? And on a big night, that they need to overturn a 4-0 resource. We'll start in the starting 11 way, and you get Gerard Martin, Kubasi, Marc Benet, Femi Lopez, Lami Yama, Ferran Torres. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players.
All from the La Masia.
From Academy Boys. Big nights for a big club. They believe, look, you are our own. Go and do the job. And they are not just academy product, Rich, they are young guys. 18, 19. But Barcelona trust these guys. It is so unique. And unless you are a Barcelona fan, and I will bet this feeling, I say, Rich, it gives you some strong attachment to the club. So and how they will play.
Sankamfa Kotokwa, Nankakodo under 20, Nakodo Botim beat say, and away teams here, Ebia Mediama B, Samatex. Ana baby and go stars. Na Kotoko
no any let's say Kotoko against me Tima Ediana.
Ediana game.
Kotoko ni Ediana.
Na Kotoko under 20.
In the you do FA Cup semi final. Kotoko be so share Ediana. Then Kotoko Doma.
Akwaji 4-0.
4-0. Omu Befo Piasu Kotoko Beye. Rich, then Kotoko comes out of the tunnel. And out of the 11 players, 6 of them are from the Kotoko Academy. It tells you how this club is unique in a certain way. And they've been very, very consistent. Any Barcelona golden generation have their own guys as the main people. From Lionel Messi, Iniesta, Xavi, Gerard Piqué, Puyol, Valdez, every good team, Pedro Bae, you get it. Rich, that is special about this club. 18. Look, because I said when I'm alone, I am waiting for Kubasi to get 22, 23. He's 18 years old. And go for crying every officer Kubasi born nobody. He's just 18 years. Rich, just picture Kubasi. The unfortunate situation of engineer you feel now claim. Picture Kubasi at 22 years. He will be prime Sergio Ramos with experience too much of swag as a defender. And see, that is one thing you will love about Tima EFN Barcelona. And they went into the game with a plan. The 4-3-3 of Barca. They went in with a plan. And now I catch you say João Cancelo will start at left back. Jules Koundé, then Kubasi Martin, Ehonum, Enfifiho, Marc Bernard, Fermin Lopez, Pedri, then Animo 3, led by Ferran Torres, flanked by the 2 players, Omoma Barcelona, very, very thick, Lamine Yamal, and Rafinha. Then Atletico steps into the game with a 4-4-2. Now, Rich, Usha Atletico 4-4-2 now, boy now. You see, you will understand why our Cholo will want to play like this. Simply because Bona Obama Barcelona no, on him said majority of the game he will have to see his 2 lines of defense tight in your space. Then our 2 strikers in Antoine Griezmann and Julian Alvarez. Griezmann as a very, very composed guy. Obetini to pass into spaces. Julian Alvarez and Ademola Lookman can run from deep. Now, Oma beating Barcelona for high line. No? Anytime. Se pass in a very, very good. So, Barcelona be back. They'll be standing like this. Julian Alvarez or space in him, or space in him. Antoine Griezmann, they be around the center line. So on your pass be any interception from Koke and answer Cardoso. So much to be Jibono in this space. No much to be finding Antoine Griezmann or space Kakrebia. He just have to throw the pass where the movement of Julian Alvarez, Edeneko, and answer Ademola Lookman is on the lookout with the Bobo on to space Kakrakawi. These 2 players can run Barcelona high line no, and create counter attacks now or more open. So the game plan was superb. But Rich, me assure say, and I said Diego Simeone say Asha footage is ni he will tell his players say, look, adia en diamboye kra. I say Barcelona had a plan to bring João Cancelo, take over the flanks, you know, so that Obe pushi Rafinha inside as an inside number 10. So Obe onyaba inside the pen. He occupies 2 of our players, 1 center back, 1 of your central midfielders. No, and see where there you need to keep an eye on Rafinha in this position. Jules Koundé Mbappe, but uchu mutaya, baby alami yama ejina wap very very wide no. Untimin kanche, you say on attacking. You need to add Ademola Lookman to come back to him. So when you containing these 2 players, it gives Pedri the opportunity to also go as an inside number 10 with Fermin Lopez. And see, Barcelona will have a lot of players around Ferran Torres like this. That is the reason why So share because Barcelona Ferran Torres inside the box, Rafinha inside number 10, Pedri inside, Fermin Lopez inside, which the player you least expect to also crash the box. Mark Bernard, Obo number 6. It is answer Obobano. You know Antoine Griezmann as your number 10. Only the defensive awareness. Say Mark Bernard only the chi. Into your crossing one box in Mubiana. All the other players are occupied. Fight defense. Your concentration is high. Your cholo team. You go through the drills now. But nobody will take care of Mark Bernard. Say the responsibility of Antoine Griezmann there. We will know. Say it is a risk that we are taking. He will fail us. Until Mark Bernard said 2 goals on the night from deep. 2 goals. And when the goals no saying, you know, he runs in evasively as Samai. Obia who say Oba. Ya crossing ball na Osimina Minye na Obobo na to net. Ya crossing ball na Osimina Minye na Obobo na to net. And Rafinha edit penalty account. It was a good game. Very, very good game. Barcelona lost the tie in the first leg. Omunjintum. But anyway, you make performance, you know. That is what it was expected of the team. To come all attacking, know their where on the game, you know, and execute a Jumani. That is the reason why after the game, Rich, I say Flake, proud of the team. Captain Araujo, I'm proud of the team. Araujo cried, he was taking like a Nhyira Brozo Amosio, Barcelona Bossene, Omubo and they will win the Champions League. The real officer, the tournaments and the games are different. But I think Barcelona really gave a very, very good account of themselves. But Rich, we will still have to come back and praise Atletico Madrid. I think over the 2 legs, they've done enough to beat Stima, your friend Barcelona. Since I am back Camp Nou, 11 games, 11 wins. Rich, that is good. We were counting on the year with Paris Saint-Germain, and we could score 3, but it was just not enough. Say you beat me a team, your friend Atletico Madrid, every Munti. Atletico Madrid abuke mu take it, and then there's a game between Real Sociedad and the Athletic Club Bilbao. Also, and the second team, Omaje Copa del Rey nipa, but Omoda from 1-0. Go into the second leg, you know, and you heard you bet me aqua could do. Medema no see about 2 minutes be on the English Premier League. Mekaipa when Arsenal a ball draw against Wolves. Confess you, and no crash Arsenal to win G League, you know. I'm saying, how do people follow the Premier League? The Premier League. Saudi Arabia, you understand it properly. Rich, since they drew with Arsenal, Ushe games are Wolves Abba against Omo Persevere as big clubs and contenders. The next 2 was show me now. Now compare this to the Arsenal results. Then you know so any Arsenal are there. And look at the time we say Liverpool. Timing. Oh yeah, about
20 plus 4.
And go on into net. You look at the reaction of Anna Slot. You look at the face of Liverpool goalkeeper. Now we say, oh, Abobia Kao. Alison Becker. Afe neba no dia bulletino. Onya konko be 2. Wolves want to be remembered as giant killers at the die embers of the league. Now, let me show Wolves for Nhyira Rich. Me say, only the entire football, especially league, be say English Premier League, you know. Rich, it will continue to excite people. So I will compare it to the Ghana Premier League. Because the whole story is like 11 wonders. Rich, so where are they getting their motivation from? 11 wonders say, Ombo match be an yashom. Look, Wolves, so Ombo from say team. But Rich, when you see them play, it is as if there is something they want to hold on to. That makes the league exciting. And among who say yes, you are watching at high integrity. And then you make interesting games. Muni Newcastle game no. What's mo bashe?
No. Difficult game. Your best a draw.
Man, your best will be a draw. Me have predicted over 1.5 over 2.5 in that game.
Okay.
Man City Nottingham Forest. Oh, fear. On paper, Man City should win because they know. Baby, no margin of error. At least on home games today, they must win. But many to tell. Fulham, our double chance over West Ham. Look, Brighton are above them, but they can be stubborn on any night. Rich, say Arsenal, but so Brighton, they must score more than one goal. Minimum so but they must score more goals to win an annual. They can't only rely on their set piece to win this game. They must score open play goals to win against Brighton and Hove Albion. Now, what's your league table here? Give me because of Villa Park and Rich. It is fit for the goals. But I think Chelsea are playing Aston Villa at the right time.
Villa need any form.
Form.
Here's how time we move there because there be 8 matches ni. Aston Villa nya result papa be free.
There be.
And so Aston Villa now person cut off for the man. This is the game and so winning.
So you see, so we are Chelsea so. Now super so wrapped off for the man. This is the game you have to win. Because
Villa need don't know Buffy.
And so which in I'm not fully in there's the home and away basis, no, just for the integrity. You will be given fair play. What I'm saying is, say Chelsea was win every league in the top 4. No, you have been given a club a top 4 anymore. So you can now and this is the right time to meet them, and they are not informed. And Chelsea see, and they must be able to get the job done. And then you remember how and you know ebesi akonsa na meka Wednesday and some party enko no my combination of a coats no na yetimi enko yanim only 2 coats send and another 3. Yeah, I think say 3 coats from Betway. First one the rollover code, then I have 2 other codes bia meet me at the ama nti rollover code no BW 41F1 6583. Simple. BW 41F1 6583. And then the 2 other codes, I have one very nice codes. First one, BW 41F1 7B9A. And a BW 41F1 A297. It's BW41F1 A297, BW41F1 7B9A. AF4 and a course, 11 hours and 8 hours and the roll over 3 hours, and so our top. Oko also Bempire X, and I said Oko Bismarck also Bempa hyphen Ayala our Facebook, and I said Ayala Sports our Facebook, Oko Telegram, and I said my WhatsApp channel now. On sa ebitimi akakos, and then Chebiwate, and games, very nice. Ubetimi Eddie, and games very interesting.
I am so be can you live and once. Na mo dance be different ho kransa.
Oh, dance be o.
Eh.
Fama me.
Yem grene lax ne die.
Samuna no.
Be me bia odi ana odi menya ni general. O mpe adware atobi. O say ma o pe adware. Samuna na nkasa ne sham. Ene frero. Se odi dware ho se am on say ade ne hwam ene se frero nti am dware ya kono anytime bia you say mami ko dware
unu say
oh like samna na de nyame nu green
unu say ma perlock samna na last time I took quite crano me dey be quiet and a normal circumstance ka o took quite hotel a obeda no almost sub dada but me say no I was say me dey be ko
samna ni come too much
ade bia me kan say o dware wi a from baby a will be and you could still smell the sweetness from your bathroom. Yes.
That's what the perfume they carry.
Very, very makunya. Very, very nice.
I think for myself could to be.
Baby, I told seminar be out the okwa. Now per seminar dry also on mama locks. If so open do to so there for big Jake. That was 0244812364. 0244812364. Na enye locks nkwa deodorants. Papa ne wo drama so no Rexona 72 hours no. Bacteria na me fifre till na man kaba ho. Se o de deodorant gu hu a ye wo technology bi wo mu a man fifre mpontel na enka no aba ho. Nti se wo pe deodorant papa ayusu ama why fresh throughout the day na wama no Rexona 72 hours no. Baby e ton deodorant bia no ubenya Rexona 72 hours no ebi ato open dudu etu a na wako Big Jake wako Daddy Ash any Beauty Glow e wo two shops were doom ben PZ doom PZ Asampa Pharmacy hono mo a uko kejetia Dubai so a shop number 1549 ben police station you know Beauty Glow ho and opposite gate 8 ewo kejetia dina CBG ewo mu no Beauty Glow ewo shop ewo ho Makola Mall and Makola Central Market and so ewo Accra Beauty Glow ewo ho Daddy Ash so ever sortel say who doom o commerces Anoche Plaza opposite Boss FM eho na Daddy Ash ewo big store Rexona no ebebre ewo ho Advanced Savings opposite ewo Kanshi ewo Nkran so no unsa ebeka Daddy Ash wo takrade a market circle wa bebi a car bank no ewo no unsa ebeka Daddy Ash obetuma friend Daddy Ash ewo 0531 013881 0531 013881 ubetuma friend Unilever phone ankasa ewo 0543 384 958 0543 384 958. Now, Rich, yes, yes, sports minister.
Kofi Adams.
Honorable Kofi Adams. Yes, also two Bobby Parking. So,
yes, I'm good to
what's he saying?
Before, no, over the message be free New York at the about say the whole brand. And Yaman will be at any quarter just in na.
Oh, okay. What was the Monsieur Bion?
I also be at din.
Okay.
New York.
My man and number be now on Francis here.
Okay. Eti, George Ampofu. I also in New York. The whole brand. And na quarter just no.
On Fred 0246 45 8055 0246 45 8055.
Okay.
On first number.
All right, Auntie, afayemre na ayala credit card to mama and dada anra. Sports and Recreation Minister Nhyira Kofi Adams na owo Adom FM ono mukoye interview. Na interview no de enema bebre tu dwa. Na mu mienu mpese yehwe. First one no on the day are you walk up na ye kono. Now, so we have a man for now. Said they did not retire. So from a international football team, so they did retire. Now, so no, active there. I didn't know you co walk up. You consider the day na you fan ko walk up no. And so if you say walk up, no can 99 days. Na you ko na yentie minister on the day you course no as we say you fan ko walk up. And I'm young fan ko no yentie minister. Understands on it.
We will do well. And possibly do better. Well, I think he's picking up also. Once he hasn't retired from international football, I will not be surprised. Say, team, no, I will not be surprised. But that is the coach's responsibility. Going for the World Cup, and just about.
Okay, and I'm saying sure. Okay,
contest is very, very important.
Minister, on the day you. As you say, young fan ko walk up, and I'm young fan kono. Minister response ini.
We will do well. And possibly do better. Well, I think he's picking up also. Once he hasn't retired from international football, I will not be surprised. Say, team, no, I will not be surprised. But that is the coach's responsibility.
Okay, so the underlying word is the day is picking up. 2, on retire from international football. It is a the day picking up. Now on retire so dia. ono to ono minister no few say we eligible say ye call work up betimi consider no but say adwuma ni na enyo ono minister na adwuma no on adwuma so okay the day he's playing and a football no so on farm man na wiye enti dia candidate a coaches na sem so me feel say the day form na wa fa no say betimi boy going to the World Cup why not Argentina I will say you consider no for the World Cup na ye kono ala em fa no wi na ewia on any pounds yem form on World Cup no any baby a benya sika do makono na em fa no so em fa ento aso nti ye start with the didi adete no.
I think say minister and response spot on.
Okay.
Utie nensem ni year with an open mind. He has not said anything wrong. Or see, the day is actively playing. Or you gonna on retire. That is all that you need to play the Blasters. To be an active player, a Ghanaian, and not retired. That is the criteria I do about Blasters. I know what okay to say. Name no a coaching responsibility. So I'm perfect answer. Where's a science and math quiz now? Yeah, perfect score for the radio. Perfect. As some kind be anywhere, these are facts. And some of them are straightforward. Now, I can't me for your personal perspective whether we think in our opinion they deserve to be in the Blasters or not, which and it will remain our opinions. The coaches at the Blasters level also any team cry on the some building the World Cup. If per the standard of a team on the some building, so omo taking a decision to add the you to it or not, Rich, it is their decision. The kind of Blasters they want to go to represent Ghanaians. Bob and Yakwakobo, Rose Banner, Ombeso Bia playing the team. If they do all their SWOT analysis, now Omujin say either the Debeboa and answer Omboa. Rich, the World Cup is not too far. We will get to know. In fact, say no crazy the dempo betiminya akonya World Cup no akwa. Which I think the two friendlies here in Europe. Say no cry, you been home popie anameboa. Because exactly we have those two games, one game against Wolves team no and Mexico. These are the only 4 games at least you have to say Blasters ever bo and San Yako World Cup no plus other training matches be bobo. So say no crazy you bet me and you be about team ni mua. Not the Subabe Kanwa. At least you been home prepare from Yanimu Ye. Emma Revi. Now see me no baby Blasters and come on this network. Emma make catch you say the technical team pair our information as in Shina Sports Desk. One position still now a open and if not close is a number 10 row. Since Damino Bedin Komono, they've been watching players around. Augustine Boache. Amoni other players they are trying to see whether they can add to it. If the day is part of the list or not, me I don't know. But so okanwa ye benya home prepare ni manim ya. So we be some maybe opinion there. I think said they were be some why the obetimi ayama Ghana Blasters. So oma akonya ama enkrani bi so take omo time at the Blasters in many personal opinion ebeboa.
Because my phone started from baby Ayala we no. Yes, they did ticket boxes and I seen say yeah friend of Black Stars on retire or a Ghana ni and as say so was or pick a form as a player. Or ticket boxes ni na but from who perspective no. If you say World Cup near could hear the you.
What's the same question no? You the same question Abisayala.
No, Miss Entina me say baby I had the way no.
If you ask me if we need the DIU, they are
aside or ticket boxes need na see man call up.
Yeah, since I say so we be some see Nhyira. I don't mind taking the DIU there on in some capacity as a general captain.
Okay.
We may not need him on the field of play. Some of Boboni be my idea. But I may need his leadership. I may need his guidance as an experienced person or group in him. So by guiding a young cop. You understand? So anytime because also say a question, you say, do we need his leadership there? There's a point in time I can see that we need his leadership. But generally, I don't think that they should be at the World Cup. So fast the experience leadership nank be here no offer ball no the be mind o can in a boom and strike the average. I don't think that they somebody that we have to take to the World Cup. I also me a part of the school of thoughts that they have the so in I think that respectfully I say your pet time near pet date near boss ceremonial game. Yeah, Accra, Kumasi, maybe in the north where he hails from. Say a War Crown Park, very close to where his parents are from. Never freedom. A ceremonial game for him. For me, I think that is the highest that we can give him. Because again, what is the tendency? Say this World Cup can be good for us. Yanshenia, they do go to the World Cup and say Ankuya, the conversation goes around say they has again destabilize the camp. In Penisa, for where he has gotten to, I think it's important to Obey guide the name that he has gotten to know. For me also, with everything that has happened, I don't think so. Senke can be a bit in the Diako, and he doesn't have to be a player. Now he can play some role as to guide the young players out. Of course, he's an excellent gentleman in Kienfaniko. But as a player, I don't think so, even your makeshift number 10s near Kano, the day offers more than no, I watched him over the weekend against Nhyira match on my boy, you know. It's not there. See, let me tell you something. Say Le Havre FAO on a short-term loan. Na season end. Na Le Havre don't continue it. It tells you something. Le Havre is not a big French side. Understand? Yes, they say is that Michel on the interview on Matthew, I'm a former Ghana striker. Matthew, I think, works at Nhyira, so as one of the coaches. And they spoke about a good time. He mentioned, although the Denangasa can say still, he has it in him. Say he'll play football. He doesn't feel like he is done. He feels like there's a few more that he can give. He didn't mention specifically, he said Black Stars, of course, in the footballing career. Comes a bit more about the club level. And yeah, by force, they change and say they call up.
Rich, yeah, let's hold on to the other voices now, and let's expand this day conversation. So that I can be thorough on the other issues. So, number one, I will not be a hypocrite. Okay? Say, in the last few months, me share all the conversations around the day. In Mimi observation, there seems to be a certain political hands being forced behind the push. We must be careful.
As a penny be from a baimu, and they push you young fan and call.
There's a certain political color to push the DDIU agenda. Me, I'm not that kind of journalist. But when I see things that are clear, whether it is controversial or not, I will want to say this is my observation. It started from Ora Mickey Charles. The interview be on Asempa. Sometimes they can't connect brother. Also, obey me the sense in the book. I say the day will seal a move to a team. He will be active before the World Cup, and he will be part of the World Cup. We know where Mickey Charles is coming from.
Sure.
And check, and I did a consignment and brother. We saw a certain element within government that were happy to push for Ghanaians to know so they has really made the mover and managed the platform to be eligible for the World Cup. I am saying this with caution. Honorable Kofi Adams said if per any position as government advisor on sports, now a politician that belongs to the ruling party, say I no and uncomfortable fan so to push the political agenda for the DIU inclusion for this World Cup on Shanu. And I'm saying this with the Atu Blasters in the past, where the team became so divided on party colors. And one of Enyoma Edienya, the reason why around the continent, young choir golden generation and AFCON. It is one of the major problems that we had. Say in Kakankaka, Sadiani air free blasters in him, and the national team no aqua. Yaman in Koda.
Because at a point, yenya captain, you know, team. As we were a political party, we so Mizumu Windy said, Yaba am a bomb moment. It's okay, see, as you Yenya Bambi, Monamo, Yanzu Mama money. It's one team, but divided place.
Which the way politics a divided blasters. Yentimi ni sam common in ine.
Yeah.
Enti look, in some say because there are political undertones. You can choose to talk about it, you can choose not to. But I am only expressing the caution to conform more power. Say, if it is on the football basis, then we may have a fair judgment from the technical team. So we feel said the day on footballing basis. I also on that premise, fine. But it shouldn't be the case. Sir, there is a power play agenda that pushes the day into the Blasters team. Yes, a very problematic. Then the last one I make. You see, this issue about leadership. The day offers leadership. Rich, Mamen can same way. In the football space, we've seen them use major tournaments, build the future of national teams. It will be the biggest mistake at Ghana to think so. You will walk up and you know, I say a one-off tournament where we need to go and play. And maybe a blasters, no, you free by any baby a best. We are in a transitional period with our team. The World Cup doesn't stop that process. And I want to say, young Kaya, you stay in the lane of transition and building. If we have to work up Ghana Yentimen, say a time we reach, and I will say, you're building Augustine Boache. I will say, you're building Frank J. Jr. Be our blasters in him. Not the next AFCON, the next two AFCONs, Omunombabe take it as campaigns. If the opportunity is today, let's present it like that. Now, I can say, Rich, your taking capacity, no, you're too short, say, BBR will only see the short term. And the tournament, you bet me, and they are fast, so I continue to build, no. Over say, oh, I walk up when you go see some penny for no more experience, or my booby da, or no way. You cause blow chance, no. When we could have given this same platform to young guys, get exposure, go and play. You film and penny for the film, and kind of film. You film, then we will know say, oh, after the World Cup, the basis of your national team, Air Blasters, no, is that we have a core team of average age of say 23, 24. You say the next two, of course,
they are so learning.
We can rely on
almost any exposure.
Fantastic. And me yes, I'm mistaken.
Okay. Interesting. Now, Minister on Nipa don't be free Ghana. Ha, Akosha World Cup ni bina. No so. Yera Kofi Adams at the 172 in TV.
Going for the World Cup, ain't just about going to chase the ball for 90 minutes. Yes, so you're fan to say, "Hey, Queen Yabia, you say, you disuya bibi." So necessarily, we would like to send a few persons to also go and learn certain culture, fan mobilization, fan support, even police for many IG edi hunkomo, because we want to form the police unit for sports. So you say, "Yes, sheda edi bin musuye den echo." Now they should have opportunity of seeing crowd control in action, not just theory. A learning process for us. Yempesa Yebeko this World Cup no, will return and be the same. So me Masheda, if my fundraising works very well, I have a certain number of police persons also almost then on Bekobi, the emergency response team, no so 1 or 2 be also almost. Then of course the creative arts free and bloggers and then the rest, because a opportunity for them also to build a base, because Yohana ISO speed by ISO speed and yeah following or the Nadia or yeah. So yes, so yeah the or more hanka crowd mukra 50,000, 100,000 followers, 1 million. 1.2 million followers. Yeah, the one call now almost out of report now they get a few more.
Okay, and minister on a nipa person do a World Cup na utie minister ya se World Cup na ekono. E bo no nko ekokobo ene bo na ekohe no nko a. Ye kone akusua de na ye nso de aba ye football ni bi. Enti obepe se ye dia police fo ni bi ebekọ na ekwan a esi efa so a control se BBS park so na o se police for control crowd in this ania no ni dina no ombeko no makwa kusua bi afi emergency response team bloggers so dina no come be fa so ombesuasua sa ania ma we nim na ne dia back into our football na eno so aboa ma yen football no etimi anyini no ombehe na oma yini na o wie kura no na o se sa nipa we nim dina no or try so no ebe raise fund and so ade amasa ankofo yi na osese mu yadudi a aleso betu expand no na odi nipa adodo na nso atimi akose ne be ya omo be kwa kosua de ne de aba be ye football no enso ewo eye Ghana na owie kura no kra no eno so mo mbakọ World Cup no mo ma no ye bi a wo kọ World Cup no wa adwen sa wo ma ministers we no ka kire wo
Ona se wamba yebecho umbecho. America is now more than prepared for that. Now more yechu na yede to ice at the eden yechu. There is financial reward attached to Saudi, so people will choke people. Who cause na who continue fie. Now what says America so aye.
Okay, and the minister so ko no am yebecho.
Ye time e be discuss mama. Mama information be uncha. During the president's State of the Nation address, or can the same thing. I see, oh, Miss Ghana from to Koyako US. I go have World Cup no Mokwa and need DM Monsamra. And I honorable Kufadam so square day. Also, dear Munaka class, I can't say, Okonoa may bet you only deal with there's a gentleman agreement between Ghana government. Any US consulate, any embassy, Omama Matias here, they will take a number of supporters to the US. And Tiasiano say the US embassy has agreed to give those people visas. And see, Sir Okasales, there's no question of Yebe refusing me. Now, the government have been able to negotiate 2-year visa for each of those people on that list. The only caveat is Ombedu money.
Now, as me call work around 2 years. Oh, Gabi, the one man to say,
but who said, no problem. And you'll be on the TSS, ne papa mua within the 2 years. Sanka work up New Year, you come back. So Okosha work up and we na oba baka. Na pay immigration records no. Yes, tampese okoya power ba. The government is now exonerated from the agreement.
So later no obetimi asa.
So later oko na enya work up niti na oko a. Government ni mu akwanya bia na say the council cannot come again so ye na mo kwa. That is why the president and the minister is telling Kofwa ombe bua omo to travel no say they will not be able to tell you all the information, but that is the background I'm the amount. So we have opportunity now. So on the every individual be a visa. So I go to why they now best on their fine. But more best submitted by the ministry listener there.
So who was our listeners?
More listeners.
That's all ministry listeners. Udi wo lens ni mata.
Me nim say me lens me din also there. But
doesn't mean udi wo.
Team I mean ka say.
Me too.
Mrs. me din me nim say also there. The metal so there major visa no.
Oh, okay.
I don't have an American visa. The metal so I'll take the visa.
And you we are no aba. Later now say ko.
They have Vifika and Kameji visa there. As a visa no beji ko abankonko. Obeji.
Me meet my department ko.
Go Cup no.
But if don't, I can go to the World Cup and watch 2 matches and come
out. No, on World Cup now. Any World Cup require on Pep, time a crowd or they could all this.
Kofi. Oh, Mama, who do you move?
Not a way.
More but Obi,
but I said, Obi, on
the Chukunu Gari.
Bema wo Johnson ni mu pai ebikam eyawo eni moja edi akira ana wo tempampan e wo Johnson
Kofi Adams.
Honorable Kofi Adams. I say or to two bobi ba park in so.
Yes, I'm good.
What's he saying?
Before no, over the message be in New York at the about say the whole brand and the man who be at any quarter just in na.
Oh, okay. What's the message be on?
Also be at den.
Okay.
New York.
Mama man and number be now on Francis here.
Okay. Eti George Ampofu also in New York up the whole brand and na quarter just no.
On Fred 0246 45 8055 0246 45 8055.
Okay.
On Fred's number.
All right, Auntie, afeyemrefi na ayala credit card to mama and dada anra. Sports and Recreation Minister Nhyira Kofi Adams na owo Adom FM onomo koye interview. Na interview no de enema bebre tu dwa. Na mu mienu mpese yehwe. First one no on the day you walk up na ye kono. Na so we hear man for na say the day no retire. So from international football team. Say the day retire na say no ye active dia. Adentina ye ko walk up yi. Yem consider the day na yem fa no ko walk up no. And so if say walk up no can 99 days na ye kwa kobo. Na yentie minister on the day you course no as we say yem fa no ko walk up. Anam yem fa no ko no. Yentie minister understands on it.
We will do well. And possibly do better. Well, I think he's picking up also. Once he hasn't retired from international football, I will not be surprised. Say, team no, I will not be surprised. But that is the coach's responsibility. Going for the World Cup, and you're just about.
Okay, and I'm saying sure. Okay,
contest is very, very important.
Minister, on the day you, as you say, young fan ko World Cup, and I'm young fan kono. Minister response any.
We will do well. And possibly do better. Well, I think he's picking up also. Once he hasn't retired from international football, I will not be surprised. Say, team no, I will not be surprised. But that is the coach's responsibility.
Okay, so the underlying word is the day is picking up. 2, on retire from international football. It is a the day picking up. Now on retire so dear. Ono to ono minister no few say we eligible say ye call work be betimi consider no but say adwuma ni na no minister na adwuma no on adwuma ni say okay the day he's playing and a football no so on farm man na wie ye enti dia candidate
enkai obi asa bet influencer no and so ewo ho bet influencer no enya de chinchin bia o bet we say simple o betway account only be a bra www.betway.com.gh Betway account ni bi na unsunya Betway a platform no out a bet also the best platform e twa bet dada but we no do mu dia beka won say what share bet or Betway a sa code na da o bet so no share na for code ni twa bet so mu di twa bet a sika afofo ni di betwa no wo code ni odia no Betway so omemo sika kakra na so odi apodwe enti we code no ahye no
say bebo enya mboye no na what ati ska e de free code ni mu we ewiase nyina betway pe ena mouse akonya no internet na da so ba bia utwa bet no na unjai na umba betway na umediska bebre e wo ho with terms and conditions applied undi 18 years me so unka bet ho we the 18 years there na ma ho kwan say utimi etwa bet nemom o bet ya no bet responsibly betway almost get way more
dumie no nabo enti ye konkran na akofa dum kase no abrem ye ba ayema bene wa ni team no the gold no I ready amo at the midweek edition of Obra to Anjumadino ebeto enso na and the one tie bi anyasem keto akran nsem eba Obra so tie bi na onso etimi ahua de bibiri e de afrim ye kɔ na adom kase atos nyame adom abesan enemo ahia